Well, Dietz has solved some of his technical difficulties. The rest of his problems, I don't know what to say. So, what can we do? We're just going to have to start the show and see how it goes. Normally, this is my problem, but today it's Dietz. I feel good about that. Here we go. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, back from the 80s. It's Laser Bob, who used to work at Silver Platters. That's right, circa 1987. It's me, your favorite Laser Bob, who you now know as the pharaoh of physical media, or maybe just in general, your Duke of Dope Discourse. Call me what you want. Make up all the names you care to throw my way. I'll take them. Somebody will do some artwork. I'll put them up at the beginning of the show, and you'll be immortalized. You'll know you've hung a terrible name on me, or a great name, depending. Usually they're pretty good. You guys come up with a lot. Alvaro comes up with all kinds of things, but I'd feel too self-serving if I used all of Alvaro's great nicknames. By the way, why am I rambling? I'm rambling. I'm keeping you from what you really, really, really want. You know it, and I know it. So let's just get into the show. I've teased you for a half an hour. It's like being 14 years old making out with a girl. It takes at least a half an hour before oh wait, what? Anyway, you know him, you love him. All the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. Little trouble today, Mr. Dieter Bastian.
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here. Here I'm rocking like a hurricane. And welcome to the B&B Motel, where we had some technical difficulties because actually I wanted to...
Speaking difficulties too, apparently.
Be there with a new webcam, but unfortunately the sound was not working with the new camera. So unfortunately I'm back with the old one. So I'm a little pissed. God damn it, Rob. And since you talked with Cody Leach about me doing a little bit German knowledge, let us do a little bit, Rob. Because you say my name correctly, Rob. How do you say my name?
Dieter Bastian.
Exactly, Rob.
Dieter.
And now the knowledge that you gathered from that, Rob, apply to this one.
I know. Somebody said I was Riefenstahl. Yeah, people were roasting me saying I've been saying her name, so it's Leni Riefenstahl.
Exactly, Rob. Exactly.
Yeah, but should I really know how to pronounce a Nazi propagandist's name? Although she was very talented. Olympiad is an amazing movie. I've studied it a lot.
Yeah. Just remember, if you
Riefenstahl, Leni Riefenstahl.
These two letters, an I and an E. Just say it like you would say Dieter, so it's Riefenstahl.
Riefenstahl. Exactly. Yeah, I know. Somebody said I was mispronouncing it the whole time. Well, that's okay.
Not from your point of view how letters get said in the English.
Riefenstahl. Leni Riefenstahl.
Exactly. Nice.
Well.
And, Rob, at the theaters, the remake is out. The remake is out. And I actually sought out reviews because I wanted to hear what they have changed, considering the ending of the movie. You probably didn't have time to go to the theaters to watch it, what they have changed, considering Speak No Evil. So from what I've heard, I will not spoil anything. It is Americanized, you know. On the one hand, Rob, I say, okay, if you do remake, change something, it's okay. But the ending made the original movie, so it's a little bit give or take with that one, you know. Especially if you have the director of Eden Lake, and we all know how Eden Lake ends, it would actually be the perfect fit for the remake for Speak No Evil. So I'm a little bit confused how to rate the movie if I see it eventually, you know. But I'm a fan of the original. The original. That ending leaves you no Eden Lake, Speak No Evil, and the coffee table, you know. The holy trinity of feeling down and trodden after it. But how is Speak No Evil doing at the box office?
Well, would you like to have a box office report? I can give you the domestic box office report. Number one, still, Beetlejuice only down 54%, making $51.6 million this weekend for a total of $188 million domestically. Warner Brothers has got to be loving that. Loving that. Speak No Evil, my friend. Its 3-day, $11.5 million bucks. That's another great result for a Blumhouse movie. Let's go. Speak No Evil, 11.5. Speaking of let's fucking go, Deadpool and Wolverine at number 3, taking in another $5 million, bringing its domestic total. This is domestic, $621.5 million. They did fucking go. Good for Deadpool and Wolverine. Matt Walsh's movie, Am I Racist? You gotta love this. It made $4.75 million. Or if you don't like Matt Walsh, you won't love it. But a lot of people, even Jeremy Johns and Chris Gore, said the movie was funny.
Okay.
Funny.
We didn't know.
Reagan, Dennis Quaid as Ronald Reagan, has now made a total of $23.3 million. A movie, The Killer's Game from Lionsgate, made $2.6 million. Alien Romulus has now passed $100 million at the domestic box office for $101.2 million. It ends with Us, Blake Lively, despite people not liking Blake Lively. How do you not love Blake Lively? She's married to Ryan Reynolds, and she made The Age of Adeline. I will love Blake Lively till the end of my days because I love her in Age of Adeline. If you are mad at Blake Lively for any reason, just go watch Age of Adeline and fall in love with her all over again. The Forge, a faith-based movie, $24.1 million. And then God's Not Dead, In God We Trust has only made $1.82 million at number 10. So apparently God is not the box office draw he's meant to be. Never mind. I don't know. You know, I used to wear a button on my denim jacket in high school that said, God is coming, and boy, is she pissed. I always thought that was funny. It's just one of those things you wear in high school and get away with it. Just like I grok Spock. I don't know. People are what?
The old days.
The old days. The old days. So, that's it. That's it, buddy. Where do you want to? Where do we go from here?
Simple, Rob. What have I seen on digital?
I
watched Kite Man, and I had a blast with the series. A nice spin-off from the Harlequin series. Totally can stand on its own. I hope it's doing well enough to get a second season. But because I would be really, really sad if it didn't get a second season. Then on Netflix, Rob, I watched the German series Cleo finally, which already has 2 seasons about an ex-Stasi agent, Cleo, who gets thrown into prison, and then the wall comes down, and the prisoners gets freed, and she goes a little bit on a revenge tour. I finished the second season. Nice, not as on the level of the first one, but still a nice one. And considering my love for martial arts movies, Rob, Paramount Pictures is distributing a new company called Tiger Style Media, who puts out new martial arts movies. And they put out 4 in a row every week. And my rating is the best one of this bunch is The Lockdown with Katie Lotz. Really nice because all was shot in Thailand, so no green screen, and the backdrop is Bangkok as a backdrop, switched out at the green screen, so really nice. This was the best for me of the bunch. Kung Fu Games still decent because it had a little bit of a cube, a little bit of a cube vibe, because all the fighters are meet up in a room and then get thrown into situations. The only thing they gave the twist around it a little bit too early away. I would have saved it for the end, so not too bad. Now the 2 rotten ones, unfortunately, the first one is with Cynthia, Lady Scorpions, because she plays actually a grandmother, which is fine, but she is the one who is in the field working and not her daughter, so I would just have switched the 2 roles. That would have been a little bit more plausible, I would say. And the weakest one was Art of 8 Limbs for me. If you have pushed that movie into the spoof realm a little bit, then it could have probably succeeded. So if you only have to choose two, I would choose The Lockdown and Kung Fu Games. And they are distributed through Paramount. So a little bit more of direct to video stuff. This was what I've watched on digital. And
Nice.
for my purchases, I watched the Korean movie Don't Buy the Seller. Really nice one about a woman who has a little bit short on money at the moment. And over an online app, she buys a dishwasher or just a washing machine. But we already know, because it's already in the beginning, the seller is actually not the owner of this washing machine. And then it spirals a little bit into a psychological thriller. So really, really nice one. Don't Buy the Seller. And I watched Flycatcher, a little bit of a survival trip on a boat. It's actually, I would say, almost too down to earth. It should have gone over the top. So it's just trudging along, but it never getting any pulse to it. So not bad, not good. So mediocre. Flycatcher. Or sorry, the original title or the English title is Dead Sea. This is the German title, Flycatcher. The original title is Dead Sea. Okay, Rob. This was the movies I've watched.
Okay, I gotta tell you, this coming week, dude. One of my most eagerly awaited films after I heard what it was about coming out of Cannes. Our favorite French director. I mean, let's talk about French.
You mean the substance?
Can we talk about the? Oh, you just killed my punchline. Yes, but can we talk about the French ladies of horror? I mean, between doing things like Titane and Raw and Revenge, now we're getting The Substance. Let me tell you,
about it, Rob.
I've a chick doing a body horror film about aging. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine something more interesting to me. I can't wait to see it, especially with Demi Moore. Obviously, her augmentation over the years, she still looks great. But intellectually, I'm so excited to see A Substance. I hear there's lots of mayhem at the end. Toward the end, you got Margaret Qualley and Demi Moore switching. You know what? American horror to me is sort of moribund. I mean, as a genre, it's all kind of the same. Give me some old-fashioned body horror with a political bent. Has something to say. I mean, The Substance is catnip for me. Bring it on.
Me too. Especially can't wait. Considering the Revenge movie that she did. So I'm really looking forward what she does now.
Revenge, by the way, out from Second Sight.
Yeah.
Our beloved Second Sight. Very exciting. Very exciting. So, I'm stoked. Yeah. So there we go. Should we talk about physical media?
Okay. Who starts, Rob?
I got packages from both of our sponsors this week.
Yeah.
Now I got to tell you, George Feltenstein is not only is he one of the smartest people in the motion picture business, knowing about motion pictures. They should just hire him as the national film czar. Like if I was president of the United States, I would hire George Feltenstein to be in charge of all of the studio's assets because he's the guy.
So
he's
you wouldn't have given him no free time at all anymore. 24/7.
He wants to work 24/7. Look, he's like us. George Feltenstein, if you were to let's say you were a vampire and you wanted to feed on a human, you would try and feed on George Feltenstein, but what would come out of his bloodstream instead of blood? Celluloid. Celluloid would come out of his bloodstream. The man has it pumping through every fiber of his being. Now, this is the great thing about what Warner Archive has quietly been bringing really interesting TV shows that I've never even heard of. Didn't even know they existed. They predated me, and I got a box set, which I can't wait to dig into. This just came. Roger Moore in the Alaskans.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of this?
No,
I haven't either. But you know what? George Feltenstein has. Yeah. And apparently, this is fascinating. They came with a greed for gold. Set against the backdrop of the 1890s gold rush in the Yukon, Roger Moore, Jeff York, and Dorothy Provine Starring the Alaskans, this Warner Brothers television series built on the growing popularity of the studio's westerns, which became a mainstay on ABC in the late 1950s and early 1960s. Roger Moore, a British guy in a story about Alaskans and the gold rush, count me in. I mean, I'm sure this looks great like everything else that Warner Archives does, and Warner Archives bit rates, as we all know, are high bit rates, and this is the complete series for the Alaskans. Nice. They also sent me what they say is the biggest musical. I mean, Perry Como's in this, Judy Garland's in this, Lena Horne's in this, Gene Kelly is in this, Mickey Rooney and Ann Southern. Words and music. What a cast. Ooh. Again, don't know this movie, but look, see, George also knows where to get this artwork. This is probably the time that I should mention that George Feltenstein, when Warner Brothers was throwing away a bunch of original movie posters, he got me
Thought of you.
Wild Wild Planet. He got me an insert and a half sheet. That's how great George Feltenstein is. And then we have Fred Astaire and Red Skelton in 3 little words. Might those words be I love you? I don't know. Haven't watched it yet. But Warner Archive sent me these. Now, this movie was recommended to me, and I'm drawing a complete blank on who recommended it to me. I don't know if it was Rob G. I can't remember who told me to see this movie. Rudderless. A movie called
Cody Leach, Rob.
Cody Leach. That was Cody then. Cody told me to get it. Cody Leach. Thank you. You know, my short term, as I get older, I can tell you all the dialogue in True Noir, all 300 pages of the script. But so Cody Leach told me to get this. This was a cat in the bag for me. And when Cody Leach is like E.F. Hutton. And there are some people that I did not appreciate this. When we bring guests onto this show, especially somebody, Cody Leach is an incredibly well-spoken guy, very enthusiastic about film. You can't get mad at somebody who's younger and who's, if he loves Child's Play and he likes mainstream horror, you can't get mad at that. You can't get mad at when it's like me getting mad at people that don't think Sean Connery is the best James Bond because the first James Bond movie they saw was GoldenEye and they love Pierce Brosnan. You can't do that. You have to account for, I mean, we're fanatics. You can't expect, if your baseline is fanaticism, Cody is a father, he's a normal person, and he loves horror, and he does a good job. I really liked having him on here. I did not like when people in the comments slagged off on him. That wasn't cool. But anyway, so Cody told me about this. I had to go to Australia to get this.
Yeah, and Rob, I did the same thing, but I didn't go to Australia. I went to Plain Archive and got this version of Rudderless.
Oh, look at you. Look at that. Yours is better than mine.
You know.
And that's what she said.
But I haven't seen it. So, Cody, this will be a test for you.
Yeah,
otherwise
look,
you will get the bill.
We spent money. How'd you? Is that a media book? What is that?
No, this is just a case, and then we have the MRA in it. This is from Plain Archive, Rob, who did the great Little Drummer Girl set that I showed.
Oh, right, sure.
They had 2 editions, but like you said, this is strange. It's an American movie, and you have to go internationally. Australia or Plain Archive are the only 2 spots that I could find where you can get the movie. Then we have some cards, but you haven't seen it either, Rob.
No, I literally got this yesterday. It came. You know what's funny? When I went and looked for it, you know how we are. When I see that it was available, I didn't even look where it was available from, and I didn't see how much it cost. I just went click.
I was just surprised that Plain Archive had this a little bit.
I mean, listen, this cast: Billy Crudup, Anton Yelchin, Felicity Huffman, Selena Gomez. By the way, Selena Gomez is a billionaire. Just saying. And Lawrence Fishburne, a remarkable directorial debut, and William H. Macy directed this. Yeah. What's not to love?
And with that comes a little bit of an extra. This is not a booklet. There's stuff in it.
I'm just jelly that I'm jelly that I got just this, and you got the super duper version.
We have a black drum here, and some more or less art cards, and there's even one for remembering Anton Yelchin.
Yeah.
Here. And then we have, this is more like This is more like a booklet, but unfortunately in Korean. So this actually you can fold this out.
I still, I mean, all I got is this, buddy. And not only that, look at this. They besmirch because it's Australian.
Yeah, and then you have here more like almost like a CD, but it's not a CD, so a little bit more like coasters.
Wow.
So Cody, this will be a test. If we
This
can,
is for you, Cody. Thanks for pinch hitting for Dieter.
Hopefully your recommendation pays off. So I got Rudderless too. Rob.
We listen.
I got Rudderless too.
We listen.
Exactly. Yeah.
We listen.
So I got Rudderless too. Back to you.
Okay, now before I get into this, so I did get a box from Kino Lorber too, which I'll get into later. But there's something. Look, I love Kino Lorber, but something happened that I don't understand. I don't understand. They sent me a redemption title, right? Okay. 3 notes in red, and on the cover here, this is the best. On the cover, it says, "It's going to hurt a lot." That's what it says. But so obviously, this is a DVD, and listen to this: stylish, gore-filled French giallo. I love that they say French giallo, so it's a French-Italian word. It's great. This sounds awesome, but let me just show you, Matt. I'm gonna write you a letter about this. Look at this box. First of all, look at this box.
Huge. Okay?
It's huge. And what is in it? Nothing except a DVD. But here's the problem. Okay. Here's the problem. You'll notice the spine is a regular DVD spine, but they put it in this gigantic box. And so so I got to find it. Yeah, I know, right? I was like, yeesh. So now, I love Kino Lorber, and I'm glad to have this movie. And every time they give me something that has a redemption label on it, I'm like, you go, Kino Lorber. It's not even Kino Cult, or maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know. I really, honestly, these numberings, this must be the redemption numbering system, because it's not the Kino Cult numbering system. But what's up with this box, bro? What's up? Is this just a mistake?
That's insane, bro. That's insane.
By the way, the Kino Lorber show is really good. You got to watch their online show. Go look it up. It's very good. But it's going to hurt a lot. That's like the greatest thing ever. I've been telling girls that my whole life. Oh, wait. I haven't been, because I don't have that kind of... Oh, wait. Never mind. What? But so, very excited to get and look at this. And I'll stop there. Or maybe... I'll just go on.
Yeah.
Kino Lorber sent me a... Dude, you're going to love... This is like... I got this Kino Lorber box, and I'm thinking half of this is like Dieter catnip. I got to get you... They got to send you these... So first of all, Film Noir, I showed box last week. The Dark Side of Film Noir. I showed box 20 last week. This is box 21. And apparently, Max Allen Collins, I haven't even looked, and Heath from Serial at Midnight do commentaries. You know, they're doing commentaries for Kino Lorber. And nice. I said, Max does not have this. So I was giving Max a hard time. And for those, since I haven't brought it up, for those who don't know who Max Allen Collins is, why don't you? First of all, he wrote True Noir, the assassination of Anton Cermak. I have to say, it's flashing on and off. I don't know what it is about us. Do they just not like us? I don't know.
What the hell? Well,
it's so weird. But anyway, so this came in. Thank you, Kino Lorber, and they sent me. I have to tell you, I'm now judging my life by how big the boxes that Kino Lorber sends me. Sometimes you get small boxes, but sometimes you get a double-sized box that's really heavy, like this week. And let's first of all, here's why this is like the Dieter Bastian box. Michael Dudikoff. Michael Dudikoff in Avenging Force. I mean,
first hit, bro.
By the way, the great Steve James, just like he's in American Ninja, is in this. Rest in peace, Steve James. You were in To Live and Die in L.A. Sam Furstenberg, the Ninja director, directed this. Avenging Force. Come on. Okay.
Glickenhaus movie, if I'm right.
No, it's Sam Furstenberg. It is not James Glickenhaus. Okay. And then, of course, Rolling Vengeance.
Oh.
I don't even know anything about this movie. When a clan of this is exactly what it says. When a clan of drunken goons get off scot-free after senselessly killing a young trucker's family, the trucker, played by Don Michael Paul from Robot Wars, takes matters into his own hands by building the ultimate monster truck to even the score. Come on. Now, I also want to point out that my friend Michael Davis made a monster truck movie called Monster Man, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a monster truck, so you should check that out. I didn't realize this was the subgenre that I needed, but it is. Then we got Bob Hope and Hedy Lamarr in My Favorite Spy, and if you notice, Kino Lorber copying Warner Archive's classic artwork, which is a good thing. And then another part of their Brigitte Bardot collection, La Femme, or here we go, Brigitte Bardot. Can't go wrong with her, right? Now she's an animal activist. Okay. Doesn't look like that. Now, Alan Ladd and James Mason, two great actors. And if you're a Khan Noonien Singh fan, the movie Botany Bay, and you know about that colony of convicts, Botany Bay, that's what they named their DY-100 class starship when they left Earth. And then this, another Fernando De Leo fan, starring Joe D'Alessandro, Madness. Come on, you got to love this. Anything that comes from Raro, I'll watch. And then we've got this, Alan Ladd, Elizabeth Scott, Arthur Kennedy, and John Ireland in Red Mountain. I love the fact that if Warner Archive isn't doing it, Kino's doing it. Fantastic. And I'll stop there because I got to get to their So Kino released... They put out they have released a movie. I got to show this. I can't believe. So I used to work for Charlie Band at Full Moon Entertainment, right? You know, we made the Puppet Master movies when he had Empire Pictures, but his dad was Albert Band. You know, so they made movies together, father son business, family business. This is hilarious. This is not a great movie. But Albert Band directed it, and now, thanks to Kino Lorber, it's out on 4K. Zoltan, the Hound of Dracula, starring Reggie Nalder. Reggie Nalder, who is in who played an Andorian in the third season episode Elaine of Troyes, Star Trek, and Jose Ferrer. If you've ever wanted Zoltan, the Hound of Dracula in 4K, you can now get it. And where can you get it from, Dieter?
From Kino Lorber.
That's right, from Kino Lorber. So Matt, Zoltan, the Hound of Dracula, Kino Lorber's putting this out. You know what? I'm just going to keep going. How about I keep going?
Yeah.
Because
you're on a roll, Rob.
Because Kino Lorber, what a weird group. First of all, Elizabeth Shue and Terrence Stamp. Link in 4K.
4K?
Link.
4K. Oh,
dude. Because you know what? The world has been clamoring for this movie in 4K.
I think it's gotten a release in Germany, but not in 4K.
Yeah, well, here we go. Okay, thank you, Kino Lorber. And by the way, this is Studio Canal. They have a deal with Studio Canal, so I bet this looks pretty damn good. And, of course, Richard Franklin directed this. Isn't Richard Road Games Franklin? Link. Isn't Richard Franklin Richard Psycho 2 Franklin? But here you go. If you've ever wanted this, look, to be honest, Elizabeth Shue in 4K can never be a bad thing. So there you go.
And the German subtitle, Rob, is Link the Butler.
Of course it is. Now here's something, because I already bought. I think I thought it was 4K, but I have the Studio Canal beautiful box set, but it's only Blu-ray. The original Alexander McKendrick's, the original The Lady Killers. We're talking Ealing Studios. We're talking, I mean, come on, look at this. Alec Guinness, Herbert Lom, Peter Sellers. I love this movie. And now I might just slip this in my other packaging. I don't know. But Lady Killers coming out in 4K. And now a movie, I don't think I've ever even heard of this movie, but you know of my fondness. You know I've always wanted to, one of my aspirations in life is to start a satanic cult.
Definitely.
You know, I want to. I talk about this a lot. I want to start it's going to be a love cult, though. It's going to be a satanic sex cult. I mean, I'm getting too old, really, but you know, I can still aspire to these things. And it's going to be, the one of the precepts or one of the what would you call it, rules, or one of the thoughts or philosophies.
Yeah.
Anton Sandor LaVey's in the Satanic Bible, it said, Satan represents love for those who deserve it, not love wasted on ingrates. That's going to be the motto of my satanic cult. So in 4K, by the way, if people are taking me seriously, I'm not going to start a satanic cult. There's no money in it. I'm going to start a cult that makes me a ton of money. It'll still be a love cult, but it won't, Satan, too much trouble with local school boards and stuff like that. So I'm not going to do that. But anyway, The Antichrist. I've never heard of this movie. I've never even seen this movie, but it's in 4K from Kino Lorber. And it's a Kino cult title. It is spine number 15, Kino cult. And it's got all kinds of stuff. And it says, look, it's The Exorcist Italian style in this satanic shocker from director Alberto De Martino. In Rome, a beautiful young woman is paralyzed by the trauma of a horrific childhood accident, but when she's placed under hypnosis, she is seized, well, by the devil. And look, give me Exorcist ripoffs. It's not like Ruby, which is a really good, the blaxploitation Exorcist ripoff, but it's Italian, so hey, it must be great, right? Kino Cult, number 15. I'll stop there. But that's
Okay.
There you go. There's some physical media from our sponsors, Kino Lorber and Warner Archive.
Okay.
So what a bunch of 4Ks. What a great slate of 4Ks. You go from the Lady Killers, which is very respectable, to the Antichrist.
We cover everything, Rob.
I've always thought that if the Antichrist shows up, he'll probably show up in Italy anyway. Vatican City's there. That's the thing. I mean, if I wasn't...
You got to start somewhere.
If I wasn't raised Jewish, I would want to be raised Catholic, because Catholics, they go after the vampires, they get to be exorcists. I would, if I was a religious person, I would totally have gone to the Vatican if I was Catholic and become an exorcist myself. That's what, astronaut, exorcist, filmmaker. That's where it was, man, for me.
That's your list. So, do we do some super chats, Rob, before I show stuff from?
Sure. If there's, I don't even know if there's any super chats. Let's see if anyone's even watching this show.
One or two.
1001 Johnny sends in a tip. Ooh, this is exciting. 1001 Johnny says, Rob, I bought the car from my friend, the little old lady from church. My first car that's all mine. Blessed day, friends. Well, when a man gets his first car, you know what that means. You have a mobile. Oh, I'm not even going to say it, because you bought it from a little old lady from church. Let's just say the great thing about owning your own car is you always have a place to sin. Anyway, I'm just saying that 1001 Johnny, congratulations on getting that car. 5 Dot Toast gifted some memberships. Castle Grace Skull, which is one of my favorite names on YouTube. Uncle Jimmy, Area Man, Walter White Walker, and Alt Metal. Hey, you all got memberships. And by the way, there will be a member chat next Saturday. Come on in, show your face, join in, give us your opinion. There are no wrong answers. John Martin says, Rob, have you seen the cool box sets of the complete series of Captain Planet and Super Friends? Good to have physical media editions of these classics. I've seen they're coming. I can't wait to get that Super Friends box set, because I love the hour-long episodes of Super Friends with Wendy and Marvin and the Geek Computer and Plastic Man. So I can't wait to get that. So yeah, they're coming. And Captain Planet came after my time. I have no attachment to that because I was too old.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's exciting. And I think we are caught up. Hang on. Caught up with Super Chats. Major Chai Chai sent in $5 and says, This is for Dieter's tech support fund.
Unbelievable.
Garrett Groover says, speaking of Frank Capra, well, we're going to get to that, son. What other director box sets would you like to see? My biggest wish is a 4K set of John Woo's Hong Kong movies. Oh, man, I would buy that. I would buy the hell out of that.
Top of the list.
Top of the list.
Off the list.
Garrett Groover says, I'm a big fan of Paul Verhoeven, but I haven't seen any of his Dutch pre-1985 films. Which movies from this era are worth seeing? Well, if you like Rutger Hauer and especially Monique Van de Ven, you need to see Turkish Delight. Turkish Delight, it's 70s bush porn, but at a very highbrow level. You gotta love it. It's a tragic love story. Turkish Delight. You have to see Soldier of Orange, which is a terrific movie. Really great movie. You should see Spedders, although people don't. There's certain elements in it that people are uncomfortable with, but Spedders is great. And Soldier of Orange is maybe my favorite, but really my favorite is The Fourth Man. Why isn't there? They did a box set of Verhoeven's movies on DVD. Where is my Fourth Man 4K? I don't know. But if you want to watch a great Paul Verhoeven movie, and you can see a lot of where Basic Instinct came from, and Renee Stautzendijk, you can see a lot of her too, and Jaron Crabbe before he came to America or was in The Living Daylights, watch The Fourth Man. It's so good. So watch, these are what I'd recommend. Turkish Delight, Soldier of Orange, Spedders, and The Fourth Man. And they're all great. So there you go, Garrick.
So aren't those practically all Paul Verhoeven movies that he did before?
Well, no, because he did like Business is Business. He did Katie Tipple. He did which are different. But yeah, I think it's a lot of his Dutch output. And then of course his first English language. You said pre-85, so you must have seen Flesh and Blood. But yeah.
But Flesh and Blood was an American production already, or?
It was English language. It was his first English language movie. I still think it was a European, although Jennifer Jason Leigh stars in it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perhaps a co-production somehow.
Right. Yeah. So there you go.
Nice. Okay, so I would say I show stuff, Rob.
Go ahead, my friend.
Music. We start with music in 4K. Black Sabbath came in the end, which is just a very small digipack, which is actually really fiddling if you want to get the disc out here.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. And a little bit, as usual, when it comes to music, you normally get a booklet with that. So, Black Sabbath, the end in 4K. Then the next one, which I had a blast when I watched it digitally, I said, okay, I will definitely buy this movie. And considering titles of movies, this is just what you need to know. Just kill. Which was great, but this is not a steelbook, because in America you can get even a steelbook. This is just the normal version. The most violent and goriest film. Okay, it's not terrifying level, but considering fighting, this is pretty up there. Just kill. Even Mark Kermode had a good time with that one. Then a little bit of a Schnäppchen for me. I put it just with some other titles together, because when I purchase in America, I always have to play custom tags. So I try to put more titles together, so it will get a little bit of a split. I bought Double Jeopardy.
Wow,
but this is not that's just the normal version, because Paramount has the fold-out version too. So this is just the normal one. 25th anniversary edition. Then last week, I said I would have loved to show this edition, but I had to send it back because it was damaged. But I got a new one, and this is fine. So here's Incendies from 101.
Oh, yeah.
The 4K. And this is actually number 38, it says here on the side. So you can have different cover artwork. You can remove the sticker. The sticker just says 4K and Blu-ray. So I already switched to the other cover artwork. And it comes with a booklet for it too. So Incendies in 4K from Denis Villeneuve. Incendies. Then a movie I watched yesterday. Really fine little, especially for Europe, who likes movies about, viruses,
I love them.
Diseases. Perhaps, I don't know if you have heard about this movie. It's just called New Life. And this was a...
Does it have a Depeche song? Does it have a Depeche Mode song in it?
No.
That's too bad.
But what it features, Rob, is Sonia Varga. We all know her as Molly Cobb from For All Mankind.
Oh my God.
She is in it, Rob. She plays the special agent who is on track to recover, I would say, patient zero. And what I loved about the movie is when you throw me into the movie immediately, and you don't know what is going on. So you see a woman, she has blood run all over her face. She's walking down the street, getting to her home, and you don't know what has happened. But the movie does not the usual 2 days earlier. You will get it in little segments over the course of the movie. And it's just under 90 minutes. This is the director of the movie. So really, really nice one. Small one. New Life.
So it's good, huh?
Yeah, it's good. New Life. Let me just see. But this is a DVD and a Blu-ray. This is not 4K. You know, those people in those nice suits are always telling. And then another one, I know Cody loves the remake, and I think it's fine too. I've got, of course, the Friday the 13th, and I love the cover. The cover artwork is really, just from the cover artwork, I would say, okay, I need to get this one. And I watched it again to try to reevaluate the movie. It's still a fine, I would say, retelling more than of a remake, because it combines, I would say, the first 3 movies together. And there's a nice special feature on it who discusses the movie being a great remake of sorts. And while he is right in certain points, the problem lies for me a little bit in the execution of the movie. This came out in that time where shaky cam was talk of the town. So actually the movie has a lot of shaky cam in it, a lot of heavy editing. And we always go through to the killer cut, of course, the longer version. But in the longer version, there is the scene where Jason has, Whitney as a prisoner. She escapes, and then she gets her back into the cave. So this is not doing anything for the plot at all. And actually, it's not in the theatrical version. So it's a little bit, actually, perhaps the theatrical version is eventually the better one. So it comes with the original artwork of the movie. It comes with the 4K. So 2 4Ks, actually, which features the theatrical version or the so-called killer cut. Then we have a nice postcard, which sends us greetings from Crystal Lake. And, of course, the poster artwork. And a nice booklet even here. Boy drowns, missing. Camp Crystal Lake is closed. It's a really nice one. And the transfer is really, really nice, because this is not a very bright movie. So perhaps this was a one that troubles the movie at the theatrical release back in the day too. Perhaps that it didn't get that great of a review. And we have the poster for it. So I totally love.
There you go.
The artwork that they did.
It's pretty neat.
And the only thing, Rob, considering I saw a YouTube review of it, we never gotten a Friday the 13th, the 13th movie, Rob. This is the 12th one, and we never gotten. Is 13 really, really the number, the unlucky number? We never.
Well, I mean, we are getting. To be fair, we're getting the Crystal Lake series, not Brian Fuller's, one of the great crimes.
Is this series still in development?
Yeah, they have a new showrunner, and it's really too bad because the scripts, it was going to be an 8-episode season.
Yeah.
And 6 of the stories were, some of it took place in winter. So they were going to shoot, they had 2 episodes that were going to be set in winter, which they hadn't broken in yet. And so there were 6 episodes planned. 2 scripts were written that were finished. And then there was 4 other scripts. And, I might have read those first two
That
scripts.
would be a nice idea, Rob. The camp during the winter season, getting
it-
refurbished somehow,
It was, all I can say is that Brian Fuller's script for the first episode of Crystal Lake was a banger. And what he was doing for Hannibal, what he did for Hannibal, which I think is the finest horror television series to ever be broadcast, and also in terms of reinventing a storied IP. I mean, Hannibal gender-swapped characters, race-swapped characters, nobody cared because it was fucking great. It's all in the execution. And as long as the story's good, nobody cares about that stuff, because if it feels like it's correct as opposed to being pandering, and we all know the difference. You can tell the difference. The proof's in the pudding. Hannibal is outstanding. Brian was going to do for the Friday the 13th saga what he did for Hannibal Lecter and the entire Thomas Harris mythos. He was going to do that for Friday the 13th. And it would have elevated the entire film series. I mean, look, I went and saw Friday the 13th movies more like going to a punk rock show. I mean, I liked the first Friday the 13th. It was a great gore fest. Tom Savini's gore was good.
And a nice mystery whodunit, Rob.
Yeah, it was a good whodunit mystery. It had really interesting story, I thought. And then, it was a remember, Jason doesn't even show up in a hockey mask until part 3. But anyway.
So this is a hodgepodge of the first 3. And the other one, Cody, listen. The kills are good in it, but not memorable. That's the problem, Cody, with the movie. The kills are good, but not memorable enough.
Like the first Friday the 13th.
Every Friday needs to have memorable kills in it. Here, they are good, but not memorable. But still have a soft spot.
By the way, I think you just dropped some knowledge on our audience. They needed to hear that. Yeah. The kills are good, but not memorable. As a philosophical underpinning to your horror film, remember
my axiom.
Let's codify your axiom right now. What is this? What is the Dieter Bastian axiom of?
One is a slow burn, not a no burn, Rob.
Okay, that's good. And now, what is this new one?
The new one is memorable kills, not only good kills.
Yeah, good kills.
Because let's just say, Rob, Jason X. We all know the movie is trash, of course, but we all remember the frozen kill. Everyone remembers that.
They do.
She freezes her head. That's what you need. Memorable kills in a Friday the 13th movie.
In all movies, memorable kills.
In all movies. Oh, yeah. That's one of the selling points. But they had a great interview with Markus Nispel on this set, where he said they didn't make it clear. Jason did not did the tunnels. They were already there, but they didn't forget to put some explanation in it. So some people said, did Jason dug out all those tunnels underneath it? So this was a little bit left out as an explanation. So the tunnels were already there. So this one, and then from Arrow 2, Rob, when a movie comes out in 4K and we love the movie, click. And sometimes I'm not even watching. I'm just not watching at the specs, Rob. What the new edition will entail.
Me neither.
So I stumbled across a review of this movie 2 days ago, and I thought, what? Because I bought the Chronicles of Riddick. Obviously.
So did I.
But
I haven't got mine yet, though.
But what I didn't know, perhaps you know it, Rob. This is a 3-disc package, and the 3rd disc comes actually with an open mat format of the movie, 178:1. So I was wait, what? I didn't know that. So I was really surprised. So a little bit of a German lesson again. Considering the 3 options you have here, it's Die Qual der Wahl, the torture of choice. Qual der Wahl, the torture of choice.
Wait.
Of course.
Are you teaching us a new German phrase?
Yeah. Die Qual der Wahl, Rob. Die Qual der Wahl.
Qual der Wahl.
Die Qual der Wahl, the torture of choice, Rob. Because you have 3 options here. You have the theatrical version, and you have the theatrical version open mat. I don't know how this version came to be. So a little bit like an IMAX version almost with Dolby Atmos. And then on the other end, of course, you have the director's cut on it, which comes at the usual aspect ratio and doesn't feature Dolby Atmos track, just the standard DTS track, which is fine since the movie came from that era. So it's actually a tough choice, Rob. Which version do I watch?
The extended cut, bro.
I watched
the extended cut has more Judi Dench.
Yeah, but I watched the theatrical
version.
I watched the theatrical version just because of the open mat. I wanted to see that version because for me this was the new one. They actually did pretty new one. So it comes with reversible cover artwork. You can actually have even free artworks. You can have the original one if you want to, original cover for Riddick. This is actually in the player, still in the player. So we've got 3 discs, like I said, theatrical version, director's cut, and theatrical version, open mat. So I have no idea how this version came actually to be. And we have a booklet and really nice new special features considering how bigger the sequel was against the first one.
I don't care what anyone says. I love Chronicles of Riddick.
Me too.
I love it. I want to be if I wasn't a Satanist, I'd want to be a necromonger. I want to go to the underworld.
Yeah. And
it's not the underworld, the underverse.
Underverse.
Right? It's the underverse.
Yeah. And even if the movie has lost some teeth considering the CGI, it's a little bit it's already 20 years old, but still the sets that they built for the movie were great.
Oh, yeah.
So totally worth from my end getting. And we always talk about the great second sight editions, Vinegar Syndrome editions, but I quite got fondly of the Universal stuff, even if they're not go-to versions, because you already gotten steelbooks in 4K, normal versions in 4K, so you don't get anything new considering the transfers. But I still love the packaging. I showed Atomic Blonde one.
Yeah, that's really good. You can't get that anymore, man.
And now I couldn't help myself, Rob.
That's awesome.
The Northman. So I just love the Universal one.
Wow.
With a steelbook. The Northman's.
Wow, I got to get me that. That's European, right? You can't get that in the
UK,
States.
from the UK, Rob.
Oh, man.
The UK. Of course, the 4K and the Blu-ray in it. So it's just a little bit disappointing. This is not actually the first version that Universal puts out, or just always later when we already actually own the movie. So booklet for it, the Northman.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's limited to 2,000 again, Rob.
Yeah, it's gone.
I've got 791. Then we have
I slept on that. Didn't know it was coming. I'm fucked. Oh well.
Copy cards. No.
What a bummer.
So really nice cards here, and I've got a booklet, and of course the poster artwork for it. Actually, size. Actually, two different ones. Nice. So this is my last one, Rob, from Universal, Norseman collector set.
Well, I guess I'll show my last one then too. And this is not surprising for anybody because everyone who ordered this got it this week. You already had it.
Already had it? Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah, Rob, but mine doesn't have English subtitles.
Doesn't have English subtitles. First of all, you can pet Godzilla. It's got this great feeling to him. This is a beautiful box set. This is what the Japanese do best. This is basically an exact recreation.
But this is not the US one, Rob, with English subtitles. This is the Japanese one.
No, it's the Japanese one. It has English subtitles. So it's an exact recreation of the original Japanese. It's all in Japanese, but if you have your Google Translate, you can now read everything in Japanese, which I do all the time now with my model kits. So this is a beautiful box set. I love this box set. I can put it right next to my Japanese Godzilla Final Wars box set and be happy about it. So this is a great set. Obviously, you have Godzilla. You have Godzilla -1 and -1 color, black and white version. Great box set. Really happy to have it. And everybody who ordered one, apparently, the Godzilla store got these out to all of us this week. So very exciting, which is very cool. So happy to have all this. What's not to love, right?
Awesome.
So there you go. That's everything we got. That's all the news that is fit to print.
We're still good to go. So should we go to the news section, Rob?
We could, if you want to.
Okay.
Would you like to? Okay, news. We've got news. Oh, there's a big one. Dude, there is a big. I have to say, this is one of my favorite. Sony is, of course, celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. And they are putting out, to start off the news section, probably my favorite release or news this week, the Frank Capra box set. Look at this gorgeous box set. 20 Frank Capra movies on both. Some are on Blu-ray, some are on 4K. But it's 20 films from the great Frank Capra. I mean, this could be one of the releases of the year easily. God bless Sony and their centennial. I don't know. It's centennial. How cool is this? You're probably going, it's all right. But this is not for trash pandas. This is one of the great filmmakers of all time.
Certainly not. And what is the price, Rob? Do we know the price?
Who cares? I don't know.
Yes, okay.
I didn't look. Does it matter? Click.
Click, okay.
Here you go. Frank Capra box set. My God, doesn't that look tasty? It's going to look good on a shelf. And now we go from Frank Capra all the way across the pond to look at this. Jackie Chan, Project A. Look at this box set. There's 2 Project A movies, right? Are there 2 or 3?
Yeah, correct.
2?
A and B.
Yeah. This looks so good. This box set looks so great. These are great movies. Peak Jackie Chan right here. Early Jackie Chan, but man, if you like Jackie Chan, what a box set. You got to get that, right? Then, of course,
most Buster Keaton he ever was.
Most Buster Keaton he ever was. Absolutely, 100%. And then, of course, we got Terminator. I mean, the real question is how much AI was used. I would suspect, if you were to ask me, I bet this got the Aliens treatment. I'm willing to bet this. Look, this movie was low budget. It was all over the place in terms of film quality. I don't know. Curious to see what they do. I know a lot of people are, but there's also a steelbook. But Terminator is coming, and I am excited. 40th anniversary of the Terminator franchise. Very, very exciting. Now, here's another, maybe my second favorite news of the week. Studio Canal, like they did with The Conversation, the 75th anniversary of The Third Man in 4K. Like with the Wicker Man,
it's got, Wicker Man.
Yeah, it's got a Wicker Man pop-up box. Look at that swag. Who doesn't love The Third Man? For those who've seen it, if you know, you know. Yeah, I'm going to get The Third Man. I want this. Very, very. I'll probably go to like Orbit DVD so I don't miss it. But look at that. 4K. Gonna get it. You all know who The Third Man is. But if you don't, watch the movie. Very exciting. Nice. Then we have, look at this. I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas on 4K. One of the great Christmas movies of all time. The 70th anniversary of I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. I watched this last year at Christmas. As a Jew, I love Christmas movies. I'm not afraid to admit it. Love them. And this is one of the very best. So this is exciting. It's another Christmas movie I don't have to buy again. I don't know what this is, but this is coming from Deaf Crocodile. You know why I love Deaf Crocodile? Because I got their box set, the crowdfunded box set they did of Alessandro Puchenko or Suchenko. I can't pronounce his name, but whatever. Deaf Crocodile is one of my favorite weird boutique labels. The Punk Cat in Space. What is this? I don't know, but I'm going to buy it. It comes from Deaf Crocodile. I like cats. I'm going to buy this. The Punk Cat in Space. I didn't even bother to look what it's about. I just looked at, I'm like, I'm buying this. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to get it. Because why not? Live a little. Okay. Now, before I show you this next thing, Dieter, I'm going to tell you right away, I'm not going to buy this. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it because I already have the second sight version, and to me, that's definitive. But if you love it, celebrating its 50th anniversary, the Texas Chainsaw
I've seen that.
Massacre. Look at this. I guess you get a little chainsaw to go with everything. I don't know if you can run around.
A little plastic chainsaw.
Yeah, you can chase your siblings or your pets. I mean, this is a cool box set. What's not to love? But I mean, look at that artwork on the side.
If you don't have the movie at all, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have the movie at all, this is what you want to do, right? Why not? Yeah. Great box set.
This from Dark Sky, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's from Dark Sky. And why not? If you don't have the second sight version, get this, put it on your shelf. What's not to love? You don't have to go to Texas for a Chainsaw Massacre. Remember, that's what you found out in Pieces, which has nothing to do with this movie. I just thought I'd bring it up. Then we've got, again, Film Masters crushing it. Klaus Kinski and Creature with the blue hand. And then, of course, we have Web of the Spider. They do a great job. I love what Film Masters has been doing. Why not get this and support them? Paramount, another one of their 4K upgrades from their successful Blu-rays. Jonathan Mostow's Breakdown. This is a great movie. Peak Kurt Russell. Yeah. Love this film. Can't wait to get it in 4K. And then we've got from Mondo, I Am a Nymphomaniac. Where was this girl my whole life? I don't know where she is. And it also includes another film. So what's not to get? If only for this artwork. Look at this beautiful artwork. Mondo Macabro or whatever. I Am a Nymphomaniac. It should be subtitled, Where Have You Been All My Life?
This includes second feature even.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It includes a second feature if you want. You can get that second feature. And what is not to love? And of course, by the way, the second feature is I Am Frigid. Why? So, I guess that's her friend. She's the nymphomaniac, but her friend is frigid.
Spin-off.
And wants to know why. All I can tell you is that why wouldn't you want this? You know how I love my 70s bush porn? So here you go. Now, look at this 4K. Agree with the Wrath of God. Werner Herzog.
Klaus Kinski again.
Klaus Kinski again. It's the Klaus Kinski double feature. This movie fucking rules, by the way. An important film in film history. Time to get this on 4K. Now you can. It's amazing stuff. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's incredible. Coming out in 4K. All right. And then, of course, North by Northwest. Look at this steelbook package
Nice.
in 4K. I know, really nice. Hitchcock, one of Hitchcock's greatest movies. Again, what a
but
fantastic...
I think it comes out in a bigger box too, Rob.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it could be that the bigger box doesn't feature the steelbook.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I will love this steelbook.
Choice, The torture of choice, Rob. Die Qual der Wahl.
The torture of... It's my new favorite term. The torture of choice. Amazing. And Richard Stanley is coming back to us with Hardware. Nice. He made The Color Out of Space, obviously. He was gone from the game after the debacle that was the Island of Dr. Moreau. But Hardware, I've always loved Hardware. And I think Umbrella is doing this. Umbrella is doing hardware.
Okay.
Now, I really hope that means they're going to do the definitive Dust Devil, if they can find all the elements. Another great Richard Stanley project. I like hardware. You know, it's low budget, but it's got wit and verve and style to burn.
A cool vibe to it.
Very cool vibe. And really like it. You can't stop progress. Looking forward to this. Don't really know the specs yet, but they are doing it. And the Umbrella box sets, they're great for a rainy day. See what I did there? Right. They're great. And then, of course, big news. Severin is doing a box set of Russ Meyer movies. If you like big boobs, we're getting Russ Meyer's Super Vixens. These are the old versions. Russ Meyer's Vixen. And, of course, Russ Meyer's Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens. 6 chicks in search of a cluck. 6 chicks in search of a cluck. And so hilariously funny. If you love Russ Meyer, you're going to get a Russ Meyer box set from Severin. It's going to be upgrade from these. What is not to love? Thank you, Severin. You're killing it with everything you do. So that's exciting. Max Allen Collins is going to love the fact that they're doing a big box set of these movies. What an upgrade. Now we go to sales figures. Top selling Blu-ray disc this week, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the Garfield movie. Who's buying? Oh, I guess that's for kids. Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, Civil War, If, The Boy and the Heron, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, The Fall Guy, Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. They must have re-released that. Dune Part 2, and then, of course, the 4K list.
I think this was a steelbook, Rob, Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, they're cashing in. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Beetlejuice, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, A League of Their Own in 4K. Wow. Jaws must have been released in 4K. The Boy and the Heron, Twister, Repo Man from Criterion, and the Amityville Horror remake from 2005. So there you go, buddy. That is all the news that's fit to print. So there we have an update for this week's...
And before he loses his mind, Paul and Brunotto did send in a letter, Rob. And he says, how much are those new 4K box sets? Hello, Rob and Ida. So my question is for you both and my fellow physical media enthusiasts on the live chat. I'm excited about these new upcoming 4K box sets releasing at year's end, which Rob will mention on the news segment. But what I'm not excited about are the prices for these 4K box sets. I understand these are for the fans, collectors, and movie lovers. The very limited edition swag that's in these box sets. But when is too much? Case in point. Number one, Imprint has The Never-Ending Story 40th Anniversary Limited Edition 4K box set with exclusive replica storybook packaging, as well as other swag priced at $250. Dark Sky Selects has the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 50th Anniversary Chainsaw Edition with a replica plastic chainsaw as featured in the iconic horror classic. Old school VHS copy of the movie priced at $300. And number 3, Rob showed it in the news section, Frank Capra at Columbia 20 film collection 1928 to 1939, of which will be on 4K, the other 11 on Blu-ray, as Bill Hunt stated on his Facebook page a few days ago, which is very tempting as I love classic cinema. But how much is it? We don't know yet, Paul. What do you guys and gals think? And as always, catch you later, Paul Allen Brunotto. Well, Paul, that's certainly hefty price tags, and especially, like Rob, considering the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is already released over and over again. So this would be a tough sell for me to buy Texas Chainsaw Massacre again, even with a plastic chainsaw. And the Never-Ending Story, $250. I need to watch that movie again to see how I stand with that movie, because it gotten a 4K release here in Germany, but I don't know how good that is. And the Frank Capra, we don't know the price yet for that, but considering 20 movies, I can expect it will not be a Schnäppchen. Or, Rob, will it be a Schnäppchen? But like Rob said, Who cares?
Okay, Paul, you know we love you here. We do. We love you, Paul. But like Dieter just said, click. No, I'm just kidding. Look, the answer on this show is always yes. Now I have to tell you, okay.
Like Europe.
There's a lot of reasons.
I already owned the movie, but couldn't say no.
I couldn't say no. Now, there's a lot of reasons to mock me. There's a lot of reasons. People, I am wantonly mocked. I've been mocked my entire life. And usually, let's face it, rightfully so. You can mock me all you want. And many people have good reasons for mocking me. Old girlfriends, they're all correct. My ex-wife, absolutely. Mock me all you want. Mary Forrest used to mock me all the time. It's fine. But here's the thing. What you can't mock me about is my beautiful devotion to ridiculously overpriced physical media. I used to buy a letterbox laserdisc from Japan for $150.
Yeah, okay.
I never thought twice. It was just like, it just didn't really matter. The question is, if you want it, life will find a way, like in Jurassic Park. And if you don't want it, but I will say this, and I've been mocked wantonly for this. I think I'm getting to the end of my, I'm not going to put an end date on this show because I love doing it, but it is getting to the point. It is getting to the point where I talked to Max Allen Collins about this. Like, when does it end? When do we end, Dieter?
I have no idea when they stop making movies. Actually,
I know, but they keep. This is the problem. They keep making this. I feel if somebody like Imprint, like for instance, Imprint has this Capricorn 1 box set coming out. Like I saw Capricorn 1 at the South Center Theater when Peter Hyams was there, and like he goosed the sound. He was showing it for some premiere. I was there. I was like 10 years old. I love Capricorn 1. They're putting out a box set that has an extended version of Capricorn 1 in it. I didn't even know there was an extended version of Capricorn 1. Yeah. Now, the thing is, I don't think, should I get that? No, the answer is yes, I have to have it. Even if the extended version's 5 seconds longer.
It's probably more than just 5 seconds long.
I must have it. Yeah. So to complain that something's too expensive, I understand the implication. I understand the impulse. I understand why. But really, come on, Paul. Come on.
On the other hand, Rob, considering these box sets, they are not easy to do, No. Especially they are not probably limited just release, considering how many there are. They are not manufactured just as a standard Blu-ray, Considering the Never-Ending Story, you get how many discs? I think 4 or 5.
Yeah, and there's all kinds. And a lot of these boutique labels, their profit margins are not huge, because they're only making a certain amount. Speaking about Umbrella, they did things like Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions. They did a beautiful box set of Lord of Illusions that was only available on their web store, and there's only 500 of them. And you're crazy Germans who were making 500 things, the media books. I don't know how they even, and of course, I have no idea how the economics of that work. But, Second Sight, that Hitcher box set, I'm sure it'll sell out, but still, it's like how much time and effort, everything from the packaging to the booklets to all the care and effort. How much is something worth? And if you love the movie, if you want that somebody, I just like the fact that somebody at these boutique labels thinks about this stuff and says, hey, we're going to license the 4K transfer of Texas Chainsaw. We're going to make a plastic chainsaw and put it in this big, huge box. Like, look, I have the Dune TV miniseries from, was it Imprint or Via Vision or what? Yeah. It came with a Lego set of a sandworm in it. Am I going to build that Lego set? Maybe put it next to my Lego Ornithopter? Maybe. But the fact is, some crazy motherfucker goes, hey, you know what? We'll put out the Dune and Children of Dune miniseries. We'll put it out in a big box. And let's have a Lego sandworm in it, too.
Why not?
Who thought of that shit? I don't know. Give that person a raise. Now, when I see that, Is there any reason on God Green's earth that if I want to buy the Dune miniseries, I should care if it comes with a Lego set of a sandworm? Absolutely not. But you put those two things together, I gotta have that shit. Give it to me. Give it to me. I want it now. I want it now.
The other option is always just wait. The price, if it's not a limited edition, at some point will drop.
Dude, that plastic chainsaw is going to be like a Dune popcorn bucket.
Okay.
And here's the thing. But here's the thing. Horror fans, specifically horror fans, I think more than any other fandom, more so than, I mean, Star Wars fans are, but they're more mainstream. These boutique labels, they skew heavily to horror and genre stuff. I mean, that umbrella shit they do is dope. Second Sight, mostly horror. I mean, I would love it if Second Sight branched out a little more, but I'm happy that they do what they do. Happy about that. But I mean, these genre labels, and they know their audience, and they're giving us some cool shit.
Best example, Rob, here, the remake.
And by the way, Arrow, I think Cliff McMillan went over to Arrow from Shout. Arrow has been crushing it. They've expanded outward a little bit more. I mean, getting Narc and getting American Gigolo. Happy to get that stuff. And that Silence of the Lambs disc is a banger. I have to replace, what was it, Kino Lorber put that out, but they had the problem with the transfer. It wasn't Kino Lorber's fault.
Color timing a little bit.
I mean,
Just wait, Paul, for perhaps a price drop if you're interested.
But no, I mean, I would say, Paul, in all honesty, seriously, Paul does have a point. I mean, these prices are skyrocketing. Even the box sets coming from Umbrella, like 78. Pulse, Kyushu Kurosawa's Pulse is one of my favorite horror films of all time. I'm not going to not buy that 4K box set. I mean, I saw it and I'm like, click. And also Alejandro Amenabar's, Thesis, and then Open Your Eyes, Abrir los Tesis and Abrir los Ojos. You got to have those.
And considering price, Rob, Second Sight always puts out just the movies in an MRA. You can always get just the meat. You can always get just the meat.
Yeah, because what really matters is the film itself. But I do love, I mean, you know what, here's the thing about what I love mostly about these expanded editions. In a world where everything is streaming and everything is content, these boutique labels keep movies special.
Yeah.
When they add, when you see something on a shelf that has substance to it, you get a big box set. Look, I've often said my very favorite piece of physical media in terms of my own, the two things that I love the most that I own. If there's a fire, woo! The two things that I love the most are La La Land Records, a box set of all the soundtrack music from the original Star Trek series from TOS. They put that out in 2012. That was something I dreamt of getting my whole life. And because I've seen Star Trek so many times, to put those discs in, which were impeccably curated, Jeff Bond, Lucas Kendall, everybody who worked on that stuff, unbelievable. I would take that, and I would take Second Sight's Dawn of the Dead. That's why, because the care put into those big box sets by the people that the Second Sight did Dawn of the Dead, the hell they probably had to go through to do Martin and Dawn of the Dead from Richard Rubinstein. And they both Martin and Dawn of the Dead are unbelievable sets, and they celebrate George Romero, they celebrate those films, and they add to the appreciation of those movies. They're not just content; they're special. They mean something. Look, I didn't love It Follows in the theater. I didn't love it. I like the first 45 minutes. I thought were great, but that Second Sight box set. First of all, the movie's the most important thing. Like you said, the meat and potatoes of it all, you want the movie to be great. Second Sight's transfers, the transfer of It Follows is fucking stunning. That's why, I mean, what other company puts on Twitter and social media, well, we're color timing The Hitcher. They were color timing that movie to get it perfect. They were working with Robert Harmon, the director. I can't wait. I mean, The Hitcher is beautifully photographed and beautifully directed. Yeah. And, I did have I have the German media book that you got me.
But which I was really, really fond of. I was very happy to have it just in HD.
But whatever they're going to do with the sound, Mark Isham score, to have that big chunky box set, I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah, we can.
And how much is that worth? I mean, you know, it's only worth something if you love it. Like, I think the problem now is, like with Hot Toys figures, like I've kind of abandoned action figure. I can't collect everything. I'm mortgage poor. You know, I can't. And at this point in my life, I talk about this with Max Allen Collins. How much more stuff are we going to buy? You know, it's got to end. I'd rather, you know what? I want to come visit you in Germany. I want to go hang out and have beer and get you hammered. I want to see what Dieter Bastian looks like totally drunk. We're going to have some real German.
Doesn't take much.
Well, there we'll go. But I would, I would rather, my grandmother said something interesting to me. My grandmother, my step-grandmother, but she was my grandmother, my grandmother Flo died when I was 9. But Sissy Schoenfeld, my other grandmother, who I loved, I adored her. Both my grandfather collected stamps and coins and stuff. But she said to me once, she's like, you're like your grandfather, you collect things. And she says, but isn't it better to have experiences? And she would always stress that, because you can collect things, but at the end of the day, what's more important? You buy something, you put it on a shelf and it sits there. But if you kept that money and saved it up and say, took a trip somewhere you'd never been, you would have memories and you would have experiences that you never would have had otherwise. And what is it that, she said, what is the last thing you're going to take with you when you shuffle off this mortal coil? You're going to take your memories. You can't take your physical media collection. And she was right. But then I was like, fuck it, Grandma, I'm going to buy a bunch of shit.
That's the whole point of the story, Rob.
I didn't say that to her. I didn't say that to her. But like I was thinking it.
But like you said, Rob and Paul, if you have the movie already, then it's a tough sell, like with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, But the Frank Capra box set, are those movies, were they ever released, Rob? Is this the first time?
I don't know. Some of them might not have been, but Sony, because Sony, Japan and the technology, those transfers are going to be great. Everything Sony does, I think in terms of the quality of their transfers, that's why I can't wait for them to take over Disney. I mean, again, Sony doesn't have its own streaming service, so which is good. They're still licensing their stuff out. I mean, again, we'll see what they're going to do with the Disney catalog, but there's so much stuff they've got to go back and really do. Hopefully, we'll get 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Mary Poppins in 4K, which are two of my most eagerly awaited 4K discs.
And the titles, Rob, from Sony actually have a pretty big window, considering Bad Boys is still not out on physical media. Their movies have a really big window from the theatrical to the release later.
Yeah, because they're smart. They understand how the business of Hollywood works. And a lot of people have forgotten that.
So, Rob, do we have some super chats?
I don't know. Let's see.
Check.
We do. Okay. Paul's been listening.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, okay.
Let me get back here. Hitchhiker 42. Love that. But what's the question, Hitchhiker 42? Hail all the owners of Hammer Films that has bought Silver Salt Restorations who worked on The Wicker Man. So it appears the films will be released in 4K. That's fantastic. I would love to get, the Hammer films are all over the place now, but I would love to get a Hammer box set, the 4K stuff. It'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be great. That's very exciting. Bruce Lum says, hi, Rob and Dieter. Discs in collector's edition of Avatar slide into and out from tight pockets, not side by side. Why would they do this? To save money? I've never understood that. I don't get it. I don't get why they do that. I don't know if it's to save money. I just feel that, I don't know. They're not thinking about the discs themselves, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Paul Allen Bernotto says, I wrote Dieter a new letter, but I assume he got distracted by his new webcam issues. Congratulations to you, Rob, for your successful Kickstarter. Well, Paul, he didn't get that distracted because he read your letter. And we've just been discussing it for the last 10 minutes. First of all, but I want to thank, I love you, man. You're the best. And first of all, thank you. I want to thank, by the way, everybody. I tried to thank everybody last night, and I didn't realize I had left observations. I left a clip from underneath the music, so I was talking over it. It was a mess. I clipped it out, so I took care of that.
At the beginning. I was thinking, what is happening here?
I was an idiot. I wasn't, because I can't hear. I'm sorry. But I clipped it out immediately when I knew what was wrong. But I want to thank everybody. I mean, first of all, Gary Nerdrotic had me on his show on the 13th. It was not just breakaway day when the moon left. Remember, it's been 25 years since the moon left Earth's orbit. Remember back that September 13th, 1999, the nuclear waste dumps on the moon went up in smoke and blew the moon out of Earth's orbit. It's a tragic day. A lot of people lost their lives. Those 311 Alphans, sad, really sad. Yeah. But anyway, so who knows? But so I wanted to go celebrate that. But it was the last day of our Kickstarter. And being on Gary's channel at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I was able to goose it almost $13,000. And our Kickstarter, when I last looked, is just shy of $50,000. Now, I have to tell you, no hyperbole, but I've really started editing because Michael Rosenbaum is playing Nathan Heller. And the man is killing it. Absolutely crushing it. So the first thing we did was we recorded. It took us 4 days to record all of his narration because I wanted to record his narration first. There are few people that I've worked with or met in the entertainment business, actors, who are as hardworking and just good at their craft as Michael Rosenbaum is. And I'm not just saying that. And yeah, okay, I get it. You can be cynical and say, well, you're paying him. You know what? I've paid actors before and they've been monumental pain in the asses. Michael Rosenbaum is so behind this project. He is so great to work with. Wait till you hear his performance. He's just so great as Nathan Heller. And I've been cutting the first episode because now I can, now I have it all. And the first episode has Louis Lombardi. It has Savario Guerrera. It has Big Pussy Bumpin' Sarah, Vincent Pastore. It has David Strathairn. It has Jeffrey Combs. And it has Michael Rosenbaum. That's just the first episode. And you can still go to our Kickstarter at truenoir.co. And basically, at our Kickstarter, we've left it open. You can pre-buy the show. You can get the 10 digital downloads. You can get them as just digital episodes. You can buy physical media. Right now, there's going to be 2 different mixes. I'm working on seeing how I can get the Dolby Atmos mix on the Blu-ray, which is also going to have a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. And we haven't put it up yet, but I'm still working on the vinyl box set. It's really great, but I want to thank everybody for supporting the project. We asked for 30,000. We ended with almost 50. Somebody today, if you want to go support and pre-buy the project, and we are going to debut next month. Major Chai Chai went all in, so I appreciate that. And there will be a printed version of Max. We're going to make a book of Max script with my notes and stuff on it. But the show is turning out. It's one of the coolest things I've ever been involved with, and it's one of the first times I've been able to control the content. Like True Noir, I got Max Allan Collins to adapt his own book into one of the great scripts I've ever read. We have an incredible cast, and it's the first time in my whole career that I've been able to do something the way I've wanted to do it, the way I thought it should be done. And so if I fuck it up and you hate it, I'm the only one to blame. But I'm willing to stake my reputation. Yeah, but I'm willing to stake my reputation on this. I'm so proud of everybody who's contributed. The music alone. Alex Bornstein, we're going to end up probably getting 5 hours of original music. Yeah. A 5-hour score. You can go on the channel and you can find the, if you look up on videos, you can listen to his 15-minute 6-track EP. And just listening to the music, you can see what kind of the quality we're going for. So it's amazing. So thank you all. And thanks for teeing me up for that advertisement. So thanks, Paul. But yeah, you can go to truenoir.co or just go to Kickstarter and you can still support and you can still get the episodes or get them in whatever format you want and the other swag that we're making. So very cool. Nice. 5 Dot Toast says, anymore, I've realized that my collection isn't just for me. Ooh, this is interesting. The application of physical for me is being able to loan to my friends and family, especially after Movies Anywhere killed their loaning feature. Dieter, Would you ever loan your discs to other people?
Normally, that's not a problem, Rob, but there are not many people that are asking for those titles. Especially, Rob, since I buy a lot of US titles, they even can't play them. They don't have a region-free player, so I have a lot of stuff that I just can't rent out, even if I wanted to.
Do you know how many people I loan my discs to?
No one.
Zero.
I
don't trust anyone. I don't want people to touch my discs. I don't want them to touch them. I watch people how they handle discs, and I swear to God, I'm going to go into anaphylactic shock. Like, don't do it like that. Don't do it that way.
So Rob will not turn the Robservatory into a blockbuster. It's not going to happen.
No. And when I die, you can take whatever you want. I'll leave that in my will. So
vice versa, Rob, if you want all the trash.
There you go. Paul Allen Bernardo goes on to say, I totally understand, Rob and Dieter, the price shouldn't matter when you love getting physical media, but getting it on sale or at a bargain price helps. Oh, don't get us wrong. We love getting things for a Schnäppchen.
Schnäppchen, definitely.
Schnäppchens are great.
Right, yeah.
So Schnäppchens are great. I totally agree. Secular Monk says everything is limited these days. It's like the studios feel forced into it. Just make a non-limited one, please. Congrats on the Kickstarter. Thank you, Secular Monk. Yeah, I mean, the studios, it's amazing to me that they do something like Chinatown and run out, and then they have to repress it again. That has to be a headache for them. But there's nobody at the studios. People are like, who wants to see Chinatown? I've never heard of that movie before.
Yeah, perhaps it was hard to figure out how the demand for the title would be. Perhaps so, perhaps.
Yeah, Andy Haynes has been a member for 12 months.
But and I think, Rob, it's better. It's selling out, and you print it again instead of having a whole stock of it not selling.
Tommy,
then you have to drop the price at a Schnäppchen, to a Schnäppchen.
Okay, this might be the letter of the day.
Yeah.
Tommy Ricknell says, believe me, Rob, I spent 10,000 euros across Scandinavia dating women for 4 years, and it didn't bring anything good. Upset stomach, a broken heart, and an empty wallet. Collect movies that make you happy. Bravo, Tommy. Bravo. Well done.
Tommy, you lifted us up here. Awesome. Tommy.
Up where we belong.
Up where we belong.
Up where we belong.
So Rob,
Hang on. Hold on. Let me check.
Oh,
Hang on. I gotta check. And see. I don't know. By the way, Hitchhiker 42 celebrates years 16 months of membership. Was that what he said? Yeah, but that was fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
Roberto Suarez says, why does Brian Fuller keep getting shafted? Let the man cook. I do not know. It's frustrating. Look, I think that Brian Fuller is uncompromising. And people probably don't like that. He's like, you hire him to do something, he's going to do it well. He has his first feature film that he directed called Dust Bunny coming out. Okay. So, very exciting. Very exciting. So we are caught up. We're caught up, sir.
Rob, I still have live chat to do. If you want to, Rob. If you want to.
Why not?
Because I slimmed it down as good as I could, Rob. Because I have always the rough cut, from the live chat. Then what I can put out, because we have 3 weeks to go through. Unbelievable. I hope I have the context in my head. Here we go. Previously on Let's Get Physical Media. Altmetall. So Saarbrücken out in the first round this time. Yeah, Rob is down on his luck with his favorite soccer team. Not doing too well this year. Channel Surf, howdy from Las Vegas. The Alex Sorber. I know this sounds crazy to the idiots running Hollywood, but how about making a new movie with a new idea and a new story? An invisible Acropolis, yet the problem is lack of originality, lack of real creativity. I still think you can find those pearls, like Rob did with the coffee table. They are out there, they're perhaps harder to find, but I think they are still there. Albedal, the original Crow had a sense to connect with the real Gothic scene, as well as with normal people with human elements. John Parsons said, check out Didi. Rob, have you seen that movie, Didi?
No, but I want to. I heard it was great.
Heard good things about it. Marco, I swear some people review scale is either 8, 9, or 10 out of 10. Yeah, we know those people. Kevin Browning asks, why is it called an O-ring? I would just explain it this way. It's not really an O, but it is a little bit shaped. So that would be my explanation while it's called O.
I just want to chime in for that. My ex-wife used to design physical media artwork for Lionsgate. She worked for Chayla Johnson, and my ex-wife was Yelena Shevchenko, now Yelena Burnett. She didn't change her last name. She got remarried. She was hot too, smart, and she was very talented. But that's where I got that name from. They would call it an O-ring, and I think for that very reason. So
that's the amused reason. Oh,
yeah.
Oh. So, Red French Moon, Sudden Death was fun. A good chase CVD. Exactly. Indiana Jake, Blu-ray on a bad TV makes the movie look like a soap opera. More Indiana Jake if you have this motion, smooth moving on. All those extra stuff has to turn.
Yes. See, the thing about motion smoothing is you're adding false frames. Yeah, motion smoothing. Yeah. That is a setting on your TV. If you're looking at anybody who has a TV that looks that way, first of all, shame on them. And then,
especially, Rob, mostly the TV come out of the box with the setting on.
Yes. And people, it's shocking to me that people don't know this. Like, they don't look at that and go, that doesn't look right.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I have to say, I'm gonna give a shout out. There's a neighborhood bar in Hollywood called Jay's Bar, and it's in a mini mall, and it's right down the street from Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino bought the Vista Theater that you saw in the movie True Romance. Yeah. It's down the street on, I guess it'd be Sunset, not Hollywood, Sunset. It's down the street. If you're going down Sunset, down from the Vista, it's on the left-hand side. They have two of the best calibrated TVs I've ever seen.
That's really unusual, Rob.
I know, and it was very funny because I'd never been in there ever. So on the day after Labor Day, I was recording on the 3rd. Was it the 3rd of September? It was the 3rd of September. I think it was on September 3rd. I went to one of my favorite divey bars. It's been around forever, called the Rustic Inn. I was going to go get some food because trying to drive home, it would take me 4 hours to get home from LA where so I would drive through Hollywood and go where I used to live. Here's insight into my day. And I went to the Rustic Inn, but it was closed. And I'm like, the Rustic Inn is never closed. But it was closed because they said the day after Labor Day is their slowest day of the year. So they were doing maintenance. They were cleaning stuff up. They were fixing things. And I was like, oh, man. But this incredibly cute girl that was like 4.5 feet tall, she says to me, she goes, yeah, but you can go down the street. You can go to Jay's Bar. I'd never been there. I don't party in Hollywood anymore. I don't know where anything is anymore. And she goes, go down there. They got good drinks, good people. And so it's like what they said in Almost Famous, some good Topeka people. And so I went to Jay's Bar, and I walked in. It was great. They've got, like, Japanese food. They've got this unbelievable spicy edamame. Dope. Good food, though, for a bar. And I was taken. They had Italian Giallo movies playing on one screen. I'm like, what the hell? And I was like, this is my kind of place. These TVs are calibrated, motherfuckers. Yes. And so, shout out to Jay's Bar.
And the movies are exactly the one to check it out, Rob.
And by the way, one of the bartenders who works there, this is another mark of a great bar. So a couple weeks go by, well, actually, like 10 days go by, I go back into Jay's Bar, and the guy who was working the first time when I went in there, I go sit down. I went to watch the debate, the Harris. He's like, another old fashioned, sir. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's a good bar. I'd only gone in there once. That guy had only met me once. We had a great conversation. Really liked that guy. That's the kind of place you want to go. That's the kind of place you want to
Where
go.
everybody knows your name.
Well, no one knows my name, but it was a great Hollywood bar, and it would definitely be. I mean, it's not fancy or anything, but Jay's Bar in Hollywood, total endorsement. Go there. I mean, if you live kind of, it's kind of at the heading into Silver Lake, but it is down Sunset where you're heading into the Silver Lake area, and again, it's just down the street from the Vista. People in Hollywood know that.
And I'm just so happy, Rob, that you don't live in Springfield, so Tallulah doesn't end on the neighborhood's barbecue grill. So that's fine.
Actually, you know what? Tallulah, she barks at me. Like, she just has this strange affection. Whenever she wants something, she just barks and barks and barks and barks and barks at me. And I always do now. I've always said that I was going to send her the Chinese to be eaten. Now I can send her domestic to be eaten.
Yeah, exactly. You know where, Rob. Tim Hens, DVD are so cheap now here in the UK, you can get a good quality movie for just £1. Thomas Logan, I stopped buying DVD 15 years ago, as we probably all should have done. Travel Angelo, Rob, is there a big difference between the 4K Lord of the Rings and the Blu-ray gold case version Lord of the Rings? So as far as I know, Travel Angelo, the 4K are new remasters and have, I think, a new color.
I think there's when those came out, there was a lot of controversy about certain artifacting and everything, but I think they look better. I think the sound is better, and in terms of it, the only thing is they don't have our special features. So you have to get the Blu-rays, you have to have the Blu-ray box set if you want. And I had so much fun working on those. The team at Curdy Pellerin that Michael Pellerin and Jeff Curdy put together to work, I don't think I've had a better, in terms of working with a group of people, the people that worked on the Lord of the Rings special features, that team was, it was so much fun. It was, see, that's the thing I can't complain about my life, because would I have liked to have been a much more successful film director? Sure. But I got to do things from a fan perspective and a professional perspective that I loved so much. And I spent 6 years of my life doing Star Trek and Lord of the Rings, and can't complain making those documentaries.
And those special features left no stone unturned.
No, but I would say this: that I would, even though I didn't work on them, the Hobbit special features are equally, if not better. Because my team, I wasn't part of it, but they were also embedded in that production from the beginning. And they're not as extensive. There's not as many of them, but not in terms of hours. But the Hobbit special features are equally as good.
Yeah, definitely. Channel Surf. Players are pretty inexpensive now. Buy an extra player. Get a Magnetar. I don't think that player is a Schnäppchen. Channel Surf.
Magnetar. Dude, I want it. I think you have to crowdfund that. Yeah. That's a $1,500 player. I want to buy 4 of those so they last me the rest of my life.
Travel Angelo, PS5 and Xbox have 4K disc drives, but strangely enough, not the new Pro one, who's gotten a little bit of a heat this week.
Yeah, I mean,
Ziggy. Yeah,
they don't want the game. Look, I think that if I can just speak to that for a second, I think that PlayStation and Xbox extended the life of physical media in terms of movies and discs for at least another decade. But that's done with.
Yeah. When the Pro comes with no disc drive and with a bigger price attached to it. Ziggy, physical will be around for another 20 years. Okay, good to know.
Good, because that's about all I have left on this planet.
Yeah, me too, Rob, me too. Kevin Browning, I have collected physical media since I was a kid, from VHS, CDs to DVD and 4K. I love owning a film to rewatch. We all who are in our age, went through that cycle. Alex Sorber, Rob watches too much YouTube. Me too. We all guilty of that. Mila, I'm here to see if Dieter watched my movie, Cannibal Campout. No, Mila, I have not yet watched Cannibal Campout. But I tell you what, it can't be that much worse than Wrongful Death. which I featured last week. Ajay Skorenki, The Substitute 1 is the best, but all 4 movies are good. And I had not big problems because The Substitute, the first disc, will be exchanged into a new one because they had a wrong master that was cut. And sometimes I don't have an account for a website. I just make an order via guest. And since I had the edition already, I had no proof anymore. I had no emails that I bought it. And then I thought, wait a minute. I'm doing that little YouTube show. That could be evidence enough that I actually own The Substitute. But Rob, they said, no, this is not working as evidence.
They said that?
Okay. Yeah, I got that answer, Rob. No, that's YouTube. No, that's not evidence enough. But luckily I got the credit card bill where it was featured. So I will get the Substitute.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that's Via Vision, right?
Yeah, exactly, Rob. Yeah.
Are you telling me the Australians doubt us?
Yeah. That's my scam, Rob. I'm looking for exchange programs.
Do you know how much shipping from them costs sometimes more than the discs cost?
Yeah.
How dare they? How dare you, Via Vision? How dare you, Imprint?
Yeah,
and also Kelvin Wellborn has had to go and spend his hard-earned money. I paid him back to get me some stuff. I mean, unlike you, I've never paid you back. But it's like, come on, man. How dare Via Vision doubt you, Dieter Bastian? You know what? I have to tell you, we've actually never met face. We've never met. Go ahead. Sorry.
That was not evident enough for doing the show, and that it says Dieter Bastian.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. We've never actually met face to face.
No.
But I would say if someone asked me, if someone said, I want you to give me a rundown of who do you think the most trustworthy people in your life are, you know what? Honestly, you'd be at the top of that list. And I mean that sincerely. I mean that sincerely. Because look at the way you've treated other people. Look at the way you've treated me. And how conscientious you are, something I am not. You are a quality human being. And one of the best people I know. And even though we've never met face to face and I've never got you drunk, because I want to hear your drunken stories, like what do you do? Do you cry? Do you get drunk and cry? Yeah, well, I'm coming to visit you, man. I'm coming to visit you.
Yeah. Or the other way around, Rob. Or the other way around. How awesome is it? This place is cleaned up now. You can come in here and do the show from here. How funny would it be? And we'll make a backdrop look like it's from a different place, and then suddenly we'll go to a camera and I'll put my arm around you, or I'd go this way. That would be great, Rob. Let me know when the temperature drops to a fine.
It's coming down. It's coming. You can still smell the fires. There's still smoke in the air, but smoke gets in my eyes.
So, but I get it sorted out, Rob. I will get the exchange disc.
God damn it, Via Vision. God damn it, Imprint. We're such huge supporters of you.
And it's not, Rob, that my accent sounds like anything else than to be a douche from Germany. Secular Monk says, is this friend Christian Harloff? Yes, it is Rob's friend, considering talking about UFO stuff. I still remember that.
By the way, I love Christian Harloff's UAP stuff. I'm a big fan of Christian. I've always been a big fan of Christian. Despite some wacky stuff that's happened, he's always been great to me. I love Christian, and I love Mark Ellis. Although I think I've tried Mark Ellis's patience a lot, but I love them both. I love them both. They're really great stand-up dudes. They really are.
And Christian Harloff is mostly the Triple H of the Smodon. He was the Triple H manager of the Smodon.
Triple
H. BCH says, how dare you not believe in Bad Boy, Rob? And Stubble McShave says, what? Bad Boy isn't real? That was 3 weeks ago. And Rob was a little bit of a downer, he said. Show 200 could be our last. And of course, Miele said, no. Secular Monk said, no, never stop. And Undead 6 says, no, don't end the show. The Alex Horber, agree, Rob. Great axiom Dieter, considering slow burn, like Uncle Jimmy said, a slow burn, not a no burn.
I love that.
Long legs was the theme. GA, I would plead for everyone to support one of the best films of the year, Strange Darling. This is the type of brilliant filmmaking that only indie films can produce. Go to the cinema now. GA, I would, but it's still not playing here.
I did a whole show on it. On it. You know, I can't, you know, it's not just because Roy Lee produced it. I thought Strange Darling was a knockout. It's exactly, you know,
don't spoil anything, Rob.
No, but it was like kind of The Hitcher. You know, you go to The Hitcher, you don't know what it's going to be, and then it blows you away.
It's a great
Strange Darling was like that, and I've missed The Terminator. I'm not saying The Terminator is anything like Strange Darling, but when you go into the theater not knowing what to expect and are knocked out. It used to be that a lot of low-budget movies did that. Phantasm did that to me when I was 12.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot now because I've seen so many more movies, and Strange Darling's a knockout.
Yeah.
A knockout.
Awesome. Well, this was not a masterpiece, Rob, but I totally had a great time with New Life, you know. I didn't know what it was exactly about, but it was great. It's great. So you can still find a little bit more in the independent scene. GA, I was blown away by Longlegs' shot composition and sustained eerie mood. Not sure how to assess it overall. I landed on a B+. Adventure Square, Johnny Toe, because we talked a little about considering 4K boxes, like we said, John Woo, and I said Johnny Toe. Toe's made lots of terrific movies, very consistent work, and Alpenthal says Johnny Toe is a great choice. I'm not so sure about the quality of the sources. That's why it would be interesting to get that kind of box, Alpenthal. Adventures, Castle Grayskull. Is Dieter's mic dusty? It actually was. Magnificent Seven. Greetings. I enjoyed your list of Japanese films. I love Captain Harlock. Where did you get your Arcadia model? Have you seen If Cats Disappeared from the World with Ken Sato of Life Rurouni Kenshin? Rob, where did you get your Arcadia model?
I actually have 3 Arcadia models. 2 are die-cast Aoshima. No, one's Sola Chigoken, one's a Bandai. But the model that I'm building now, the 4... I wonder if I've got I don't have anything I can reach and grab.
Okay.
But so there is a Japanese company. I noticed they're now moving into America. I'm a big fan of what are called Partworks. And Partworks kits are companies release model kit parts. We get them once a month, but in Japan they release them once a week. And Partworks kits come with a magazine. That's the instruction, but then there's also background material on whatever it is that you're making. And they did 4 space battleship Yamato models. They did the Yamato, the Andromeda, the Hyuga, and now they're doing a support craft from Rebel 3199. The Arcadia is a Hachette Partworks kit that's only being released in Japan. It's 4 feet long. And so I think it's 120 volumes, so it'll take 120 weeks to get all the parts. They're only available in Japan. And this is it's not embarrassing, but I have a Japanese guy. He's a Japanese buyer, a professional buyer, and he buys them all for me. And
you have your connections in all the world.
And I'll show you. Like, okay, here's an example. Uh-oh, now everything's falling over.
Easy.
I know. So I'll see. Okay, well, I'll show you. So here's, for instance, if you subscribe, you'll get a box like this. Okay, it's a box like this. Okay. It's a box like this. And in the box, you get the parts if you subscribe. So like here's a weekly set of parts. There's wires and stuff. So that's like one set of parts. And then they'll send you each box like this. So every month they'll send you a subscription. And in this box, I don't even know what's in this box because I haven't opened it yet. But this is the 240th release. So if you think about it, each this is so insane.
A lifelong commitment.
Each week, 1 through 240, a Partworks kit comes out, and it costs, like in Japan, it probably costs like $12, like each part. So what is 240 times 12? and then this is a kicker. My Japanese buyer charges an 8% markup. So if I buy something for $12, I'm paying him 8%. What is that? Another like $2 or something. And then he's been getting these things for me for 4 years.
The commitment that it takes, Rob.
Don't tell Elizabeth. She's like, what are these boxes you get from Japan? I'm like, they're just model kit parts, baby. What's up?
Yeah. For a bean grower. and Rob, the other question was, have you seen if cats disappeared from the world with Ken Sato of Life?
Oh, I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
Me neither. Me neither. Okay.
But maybe they should have. Maybe they should have used that for the Trump campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Revan Winter Soldier. You two are the freaking best. I hope he means us, Rob. Adventure Square, even the second site's high standard. I'm dubious about this one. He probably means the Blair Witch Project, considering the source material.
No, wait.
Yeah.
I want to go back on that. Even the cinematographer for Blair Witch Project talks about how even the theatrical release never looked the way it was supposed to look. Yeah. The second sight, it's the same thing. I mean, I don't love Blair Witch, but I do appreciate it again, casting that mood and everything. Yeah. I think that what they have done with Blair Witch, with the restoration and going back to, is going to be, look, it's not Apocalypse fucking Now, but what Second Sight has done with Blair Witch is insane. And it shows a level of commitment that I think not a lot of people appreciate. The same level of commitment they did with Dawn of the Dead, with Martin, with especially The Hitcher, going back in and they redo their own transfers. Even if they get a 4K file, they'll go in and tweak it. And I have to tell you, you can see that care in everything they do. And it's readily apparent. That's why I've always said if Second Sight was a woman, Second Sight would be Farrah Fawcett Majors in Logan's Run. Yeah. Make of that what you will.
And Blair Witch is a movie that left a footprint when it came out.
Oh, I mean, the found footage genre.
Could it be that Blair Witch is the most successful movie considering the rate, what it did cost, and what it made?
I mean, I haven't looked, but
just from the ratio.
Could be. Could very well be. I mean, American Graffiti is also one of the most successful movies ever made. I mean, it's interesting to look at Dawn of the Dead. Was an incredibly successful indie movie. Dawn of the Dead cost $1 million.
Yeah.
So
we will see, considering the Blair Witch set. Stubble McShave, I wonder if Dieter is buying more movies since they started the show. What do you think, Stubble? What will be your answer to that? Miele, I'm still trying to avoid spoilers for The Sixth Sense. Good luck with that. Magnificent Seven, I will end up missing my first DragonCon in over 20 years due to complications from a stroke. I also suffered this year. I hope to see you next year. Hope everything.
I am sorry to hear that. Yeah. It's funny. So many people I know. Chris Gore had a minor stroke in. He's just a little older than me. It's but he's bounced back pretty well. So stick with it. And sorry to hear that, but I hope you're on the mend.
Well, exactly. Admiral, isn't Criterion not releasing some Netflix movies from time to time? So let's do Rebel Moon. That would be something.
My God.
Now we get to the episode where Cody was on, and of course, a lot of people liked it. Robert Parks, awesome to see Cody Leach, Paul and Bonotto. Hello, Cody. Robert Thomas Watson, I've never heard of him. He must not review Italian sleaze. Probably one of the spots left. RJ Skorenki. Oh man, I love Cody Leach. He's one of my favorites. Matt, Cody Leach is definitely my favorite YouTuber. Paul and Brunotto, Cody's got a respectable physical media collection. And Colin Rumik. It's great to see two of my favorite YouTubers collaborating. So I know Rob is getting the second sight Hitcher 4K. Just curious if Cody was able to snag one too. So excited for this release. I think Cody pre-ordered it 2 times just to be on the.
By the way, I don't normally do this, but 200 Watt Studios says that CNN is reporting that Trump was shot at. Shots were fired at him and Secret Service returned fire. And the incident happened while he was golfing on his own course at Mar-a-Lago.
What the hell is going on over there?
You know what? I can only imagine. That's terrible. I mean, you know, for me, I've tried to. Here's the thing. Donald Trump was president of the United States. Rightly or wrongly, whether you like Donald Trump or not, I think that anybody who assumes that office and serves, whether you hate them or not, deserves a certain amount of respect. Even though I don't respect Donald Trump as a politician or as a businessman, he's still a human being. He's still an American. He has a family, you know, and the idea that somebody's taking shots at the Republican presidential nominee is the antithesis of America. Or, you know, if you're Richard Harris in Unforgiven, you'd say, no. Assassinating a president is something, but it's just, this is not what our country needs. It's not what, it's very distressing that this is happening. And I think that everybody always should vote their conscience. And the fact is, I want to see us having free and open elections. I believe in the and people are going to say, "But Rob, he's January 6th." And look, I get all that, but that's when our justice system has to roll forward, and it's not good if this kind of stuff is happening. If this is truly the second attempt on his life, one, that's, I don't know what the odds of that are, but and it's suspicious as hell. But let's hope that he's okay, and that our election can go off the way it's supposed to go off, and America remains showing the world what democracy can do when properly applied, because we need this in our world today. We need the shining beacons of democracy throughout the world. Democracy is under attack everywhere. And this is nowhere. This is the kind of thing that descends democracies into authoritarian rule. So, hope everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know. Just an editorial comment. People are like, don't talk politics. Come on, we're close to an election. This is insane if this is all true.
Yeah. Blazing Asian, considering the recommendation from Cody, Rudderless is top notch. I actually watched Rudderless because of Cody. Good recommendation. Slappy 313. I love physical media and hope it never goes away. Glad people like Rob are out there. And one of the greatest super chat was, I credit Rob and Dieter for opening up my collection to films I wouldn't even have considered purchasing, and many of which have become favorites. That's awesome.
That's the best thing that's the best thing that we can hear. So thank you for that. And by the way,
that was a super chat, Rob.
Most of our lives is us buying things that we would never consider purchasing. I'm just kidding. I kid.
Well, speaking for yourself, Rob, or for my purchase?
Oh, I don't think I have to speak for you. I think you speak. Far be it for me to speak for anybody. You know, I'm just saying. You're your own man.
Yeah. Jack Black. The Hitcher rules, forgotten gem of Flick. I don't think it's forgotten because we all think about it, and finally we get it the way we probably want. And Cody showed that great Chucky box set. RJ Skorenki, that Chucky box set cover is freaking awesome. Jack Black, long live the Blu-ray. I can't afford to upgrade my entire collection to 4K. I just finished upgrading it from DVD. Danzig 1979.
Wait. I just want to chime in. We can't either.
No. No. You need to upgrade. Danzig 1979. Thoughts on the Terminator 4K artwork? I have to admit, I'm still hoping someone releases steelbook with the original post art. Actually, Danzig, I quite like the steelbook design, but Rob showed the standard MRA, which has a nice cover too, which perhaps will be more to your liking, because I think the steelbook looks nice. Played Out. There's certainly worse steelbooks for me. Played Out. I can find some joy in almost any Bond movie. Don't ask Robs about the Craig ones, if there really is some joy in there to be had.
Well, look, I do love all James Bond movies, but the Daniel Craig movies, Casino Royale is full of joy. James Bond loved being James Bond. Quantum of Solace is mean, and I love it. You know, it's imperfect. Peter Avellino.
Yeah.
He'd be like, he makes fun of that movie wantonly.
Strangely enough for me, Rob, it has a good energy.
It has great energy. The opera scene is great. I love what's going on there. But, I mean, look, I flew to London to see Skyfall. I was so excited. It was the 50th anniversary Bond film. 60th anniversary Bond film. And, 60? No, 50. 50. Because it was 2012. And 60 was 2022. And I didn't like it. I'm like, it was a movie where James Bond fails. First of all, I mean, like I said, I'd still do Judi Dench today. I wouldn't kick her out. I mean, she's amazing. And he let her die at the end. How do you you're a failure. Skyfall is a movie about James Bond's daddy issues and family issues and being a fucking failure. And he lets whether it's Judi Dench or what's-her-face, the most hottest chick ever that was the once a sex slave to the villain. That movie is so distasteful. It's beautifully shot, though. And Adele's song's a banger. I hate that fucking movie. I hate Skyfall. I hate it.
So this was your fanboys moment, actually, Rob, when they were at the end of the movie. What if the movie actually sucks? And they were so hyped up.
I mean, look, people are about, well, Rob, it made $1 billion. It's a ripoff of The Dark Knight. It's got Javier Bardem, who's amazing, but the script for that movie, and I think it's just distasteful. The whole movie is distasteful. Bond gets shot off a train at the beginning, and it's like, oh, woe is me. I'm going to go, play drinking games with scorpions on the beach. What the fuck happened to James Bond? He would have gotten back up and said, fuck that. I'm not going to let that happen. No. Skyfall. I hate that movie. That movie destroyed the Bond franchise, and it's never recovered. The rest of the Skyfall, Spectre, and No Time to Fucking Die. Fuck you!
There you go.
Fuck you! Ruining the franchise.
How much joy Rob can find in the last 3 Craig movies. Josiah Edith says, what do you think are some good scary horror movies that aren't too graphic or explicit for a teenager? I'm 14, but can still handle blood and violence, just not a crazy amount. So for me, this was surprising that someone is that young, watches this show. Considering Rob,
you better be careful before you answer.
Yeah, considering recommendations, movies that are not too graphic or explicit. It depends on the kind of horror that you like. If you are more into that ghostly, I would say something like Paranormal Activity, which I find really creepy, something like that.
See, it's very funny because I love the fact that somebody who is 14 is writing in, so thank you for writing in. I'm thinking about what I was watching when I was 14. Wholly inappropriate for people that are 14 today.
Yep.
All I can say. But if you're 14, I think
something, Rob, that you could.
I think if you can read subtitles, if you can find it, Pulse, Kyushi Kurosawa's Pulse.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if you want to read.
Especially the Asian horror is not that bloodletting.
No,
it's more about a creepy atmosphere.
It's also Pulse is very existential. Don't watch the American versions. But I would say, you know what? One of my favorite classics that's almost like a kid's movie today is Phantasm. The original Phantasm is basically about a young kid who's around 14 years old. And again, it's hard because people have they've seen so many cool things already. When you go back and you watch a movie that came out in 1979, it was made by Don Coscarelli over the course of 3 years. I mean, Phantasm is, I think, a good one. In terms of scariness, I mean, stuff that's unsettling. That's a tough one. I mean, if you're 14 now, like the stuff when I was 14, there's no way I would not recommend what I was watching at 14 for a 14-year-old today. I would not do that.
So, you have to see him out. One that unsettled me was the eye from the Pank brothers. That really creeped me out.
That was the eye is really good. Again, the original, but again, it's subtitled.
Yeah. So,
that's a really interesting question, but you know, I'll tell you something.
But that's the great thing about horror. You have all those different kind of sub genres.
You know what I would say? The Invitation. Karen Kusama's The Invitation. Go get that movie. By the way, don't read anything about The Invitation. Yeah. But it's basically about people that are invited to a dinner party in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, I love that movie.
A good combination with the original Speak No Evil.
And I'll tell you something it's convergence. I always get this wrong. Coherence. The low budget indie movie Coherence with the guy from Nicholas, what's his face from Brandon from Buffy. That low budget movie is a little. It's pretty. And then also, the Morehouse, the Morehouse and
I know.
Resolution and Morehouse and Benson, Resolution and The Endless. Those two movies. I mean, and for young, that's a little trippy, a little sci-fi, but
exactly.
And I'll tell you,
too artsy.
And if you want to go, I would say, what's his name's Time Crimes.
Yeah.
But that's again subtitled. You know, I don't know if
perhaps it's not actually fitting the horror genre.
But it kind of does.
I would say,
kind of does.
So just try something out. Entertainment Wizard. I am surprised the UK set of Nightmare on Elm Street. They are including the NA poster and Turkish poster, but not the UK poster. No?
The UK poster for Nightmare on Elm Street is beautiful.
Yeah. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be in the set. Rob Coates, New York. Benny Loves You is my favorite horror movie. It was a blast.
You got that from me.
Yeah, it was a blast for me. I don't know if I would go that far, the best for me, but it was totally a blast. Walter Whitewalker. Is Dieter going to quote himself next week in the previously on segment? That douchey doesn't have anything interesting to say to quote him on the live chat. Ian Klein. Hey, nice to see you guys together. So Cody and Rob. Love your materials. But I have some Vinegar Syndrome stuff coming in a few days. They have me hooked now. I want all their releases. New York Ninja is the best movie I saw all year. And that has been cobbled together from nothing. And Plagian Asian says, considering Cody loves the Friday remake. Cody's Friday remake is awesome. Robert Parks, Cody loves that Friday remake, as a lot of us do.
Yeah, because you guys are young. By the way, I just want to show you. I found the Nightmare on Elm Street, the British Nightmare on Elm Street quad.
Okay, nice.
I love. Now, this is not to say that the original Nightmare on Elm Street American poster is one of the great horror movie posters of all time. But look at this poster.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that cool?
Bro, I've never seen that. one.
I used to own that. I sold mine. That's a British quad, and I love this poster.
Great.
Really, really great poster.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's so good. And I regret that I sold mine. So what are you going to do?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I understand the the live chat what he meant with this.
Yeah, man.
Some of those Friday the 13th movies are not good. You don't played out. Some of those Friday the 13th movies are not good, but still have some nostalgia. You don't say? Undead Sick. They actually have started filming the fourth one, considering the Chronicles of Riddick. They actually have started filming the fourth one, called Furia. So great news for us Riddick fans. Fingers crossed.
Okay. Hang on a second.
Yep.
I have done something terrible.
Okay.
I've done something terrible.
Okay.
I brought up going to London to see Skyfall.
Yeah.
One of the great joys of that experience was Terrier, who I had met via social media before that because of Free Enterprise. We become friends all the way from Norway. And he brought at the time Julie and Terrier. They came down to meet us. And we all went to see Skyfall at the Odeon Cinema in Leicester Square, the home theater of James Bond movies. And I was remiss in not mentioning him. You know, of course, they're no longer together, and I'm just going to rub it in, Terry. How good does she look now? Woo! Just kidding. Sorry, buddy. I mean, look, you called me on it. I had to say, okay.
But that was at least one positive, considering the Sky.
No, I mean, they're great, and they've got great kids, and they're great. It was so great to see Terrier and have him come down. By the way, Terrier sent us, Elizabeth, they're in our movie room, Zardoz pillowcases.
Pillows, yeah.
Just saying.
Totally fitting.
So, Terrier says, how dare you tell tales of London without name-dropping me? You might have hated Skyfall, but at least we have Jameson's Next Door to love. Look, when I come to Europe, I'm going to do the European, it's going to be an Imagination Connoisseurs World Tour. I'm coming to see, we're all going to travel around. I got to figure out how to make it. Look, if I made some money, I could finance a trip like this. We'd go. You and I would go to Norway. We'd do a show from Terrier's movie room, whatever that is. We're gonna do it. So Terrier, still love you, buddy. But goddamn, have you seen Julie lately? Wow. Hot.
Charlie the Unicorn. I cursed Blair Witch. It made shaky cam cool. Well, sometimes it's fitting. Sometimes. Aurora Uplink. Maybe they should do a sequel to Rosemary's Baby when the baby is grown up and dangerous. And Bot says, considering you were talking with Cody about the prequel that they are doing, Bot's adults don't walking around about how great Rosemary's Baby is either.
Wait, what? Run that by me one more time.
Bot says adults don't walk around talking about how great Rosemary's Baby is either. That's what's in the live chat room, you know.
Adults don't talk about how great Rosemary's Baby is? Adults are the only people that talk about how great Rosemary's Baby is. What are you talking about?
I have no idea, Rob.
God,
I watched
Western civilization is lost. It's lost. We're done.
I watched teases on TV about 20 years ago without knowing anything, and it gave me the creeps. Rob brought that movie up on the show with Cody Leach. I missed the tube. Wow, R&B Leach crossover event. Yes. Antro use. John Campier's taste is a bit narrow. It's not narrow, just bad. It's not narrow. It's bad.
No. You know, everyone wants John Campia. I've been streaming with John Campia for 9 years. You know, the very first time I was ever on YouTube, I was with John Schnepp and John Campia. Everybody has their own taste in films. You know, I mean, John likes what he likes. He likes it passionately. He doesn't know half the things we talk about on this show. Actually, he doesn't know 90% of the things we don't talk about on this show. But that's okay. That's okay.
Right.
He's done right by me. He's employed me, you know. And by the way, he's set the tone for a lot of YouTubers. I've heard from a lot of people that They got into YouTube because of John Campea. So, and by the way, he stuck it out, man. The guy's a pro. He is a pro. Just saying.
He's still one of the big ones. Alvaro Sinos, hoping for a physical media release of The Devil's Bath, Des Teufels Bart, the most unrelenting, oppressive 2024 horror film I've seen.
God damn it! I gotta get this. I have not seen it. I need it. I don't have it.
It's not out on Blu-ray yet, but you can watch it on Shudder. Or you can watch it on Shudder. And I think, Alvaro, I'm totally in the same boat as you. I'm looking forward to a physical media release, and I'm pretty sure, considering it's a German-speaking movie, I will get one here in Germany. The Devil's Bath on Shudder. Jeff RRR isn't good. They didn't bother to explain why the characters have their powers, which for an international you need to do. The song explains the plot like the audience is stupid. It's a little bit divisive.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah. Jack Flack, that's why your movie collection should be organized by release date. Not alphabetically, by release date. Okay, I've never.
What are we all fucking Scott Mantz? Release date.
That seems bizarre.
Look, here's the thing.
To me.
When I die and Elizabeth has to call some friends of mine and go, would you like to come take part of Rob's movie collection? Because I don't know what the fuck all this is. No one's going to want to know release dates. They're going to be alphabetical. Hey, did you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this?
Yeah.
Release date. Scott fucking Mantz. Give me a break. Come on.
That's certainly helping. Zombie Wolf, I've given up recommending movies to younger people I met. They just have no interest in watching old movies. Kristen Hodges, speaking of Fantastic Fest, when are we getting the Toxic Avenger remake? Well, Kristen, as far as I know, it's scrapped. It is done. It was finished, but I have no idea why they have pulled the movie or what is wrong with it.
First of all, it's not like the original Toxic Avenger was the fucking Godfather. It's a trauma movie. I don't care. I want to see this new Toxic Avenger.
Me too.
I can't believe. Here's the thing. Today,
and it is finished, Rob. Am I wrong?
It's all done. Yeah. Look. Hollywood is so lost. The people that work in Hollywood today, they don't know anything. People know less about films and filmmaking and the film business than they've ever known before. Hollywood was a business built by people who thought with their guts. They're like, let's fucking do this. Universal. George Lucas made American Graffiti for less than $1 million, and it made them $150 million. And then he wants, I'd like to do this kind of Flash Gordon Star Wars show, and I really want to do it. Universal's like, no. But you know what? Alan Ladd Jr. at Fox, you can read it. There's like one letter. He's like, you know what? Guy made $150 million for Universal and they don't want to use him. We'll take a chance. We'll roll some dice.
Yeah.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. People are fucking dumb. This whole business, I'll say it. There's very few people, and not just, I will say this, Roy Lee. Roy Lee, who brought J-horror to America, who had the foresight to license Asian movies, who got the rights to Infernal Affairs and made The Departed. You know, he's an executive producer. He finances films. He gets them made. He made Boy Kills World.
Yep.
He made Barbarian. He has The Long Walk coming out based on Salem's Lot. You know, he was the guy that figured out the Lego Movie. He's got a movie coming out called Companion. Zach Krieger, who made Barbarian, is making his new movie Weapon right now.
Yeah. It has played on TIFF Festival, I think.
No, Weapon hasn't. It's not done yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that you need people with guts who have taste, and not many people in the entertainment business do. Roy Lee, I don't know where he gets his stuff from, but I don't know a producer that has a better nose for sniffing out great material than he does in the history of Hollywood. In terms of and like Boy Kills World. Great fucking 4K, by the way. Great fucking 4K. That movie's dope.
Dope.
I mean, how did people?
So frustrating that it didn't get.
How? I mean, poor Mr. Skarsgård. He had Boy Kills World and The Crow in like the same couple of month period. Boy Kills World should have been a monster hit.
Yeah. Or at least decent. It would be enough decent. But that's how the cookies crumble at the box office. We never know. Adventure Square. I hear that coffee table movie is a charmer. Oh, it certainly is. Corey C. I came in late. Has Rob and Cody talked about Alien Romulus? No, they didn't, because the show would have gotten way too long if they have to discuss Alien Romulus. Pete and Kat. Wait, no, this was not here. Kevin Browning. I watched Exuma Friday night. It wasn't
how
scary,
is it?
But the rituals and the love interest interested me the most. It was great. For me, it was good, not that scary movie, but it will get a 4K in the States.
So it's no wailing.
No wailing, but Kevin Browning said the ritual and the love interested me the most. Rick C. I'm thinking about getting JSA 4K, but never seen it. And Albedal says, JSA is great. Don't hesitate. I can.
That's
totally
Joint
agree.
Security. I mean, it's a Korean film. It's a great Korean movie.
Totally. I can't wait for the 4K, especially how it will look. Wonder This World 1970. Korea is also an awesome action franchise going right now. The Roundup. I couldn't agree more. The Roundup is great. Can't wait for the fourth one. The Punishment with Don Lee. 3 great movies. If the fourth one is still up there with those others, great. Pete and Kat, can't believe they haven't talked about Spanish horror. That's what we do, Rob and I, considering the coffee table as an
First of all,
example.
I'm a huge fan of Spanish horror.
Yeah.
Huge. All the way back to like Armando de Osorio and Tombs of the Blind Dead. Spanish horror.
Actually, Rob, the Spanish one, considering the recommendations, would be great recommendations too, because they are not always really bloody.
Yeah, you mean back to our 14-year-old viewer?
14, yeah.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Spanish
no,
ones had some decent ones there too.
No, I mean, there's great like Rec. Isn't Rec Spanish?
Yeah.
I mean, Rec. Okay, that's here's the problem. I mean, I not that I don't want to besmirch 14-year-olds, but I know Rec was remade in America. But if you watch the original Spanish version, and you will deal with subtitles, or I guess you could watch it dubbed if you wanted to. Rec was. What a banger that is.
And I think, Rob, the remake Quarantine, the US, was good too.
It was good because they skewed so close to the original. But I remember seeing Rec, and I got that box set, the Rec box set.
Totally.
Rec is great. And there's something about when you go to Sigis, and Sigis is coming up. Sigis is my favorite film festival that I've ever been to. I've been there 5 times. And it is Sigis is a small town 20 kilometers south of Barcelona, and it's right on the Mediterranean, and it is it's a science fiction, fantasy, and horror film festival, and the taste of like Angel Sala, who's one of the festival runners who brought Free Enterprise there 25 years ago, actually 26 years ago, because it was in 98 that I went there. It was the very first film festival I ever went to with a movie I'd made. In 1998, October of 98. It blew my mind. We got to take Hills Run Red there in 2009, and we met Herschel Gordon Lewis, and it's just the greatest place ever. And the local Spanish filmmakers are really vibrant. I met these guys. I'll tell you a funny story about these. I probably told this before, but so when I was there the first year, we met these filmmakers that made I don't remember their names, but they made a short film called Do You Really Want to Know? And it started with this guy in a business suit, and he's like walking up the steps of this like nice downtown office building, and his clothes are dirty, ripped up, disheveled, and he's walking up the stairs. And this guy comes up to him and goes, "Hey, oh my God, what happened to you?" And he says, "Do you really want to know?" And you hear this, and there's this whole flashback, and it's insane. It was so good. And these guys, these guys, they were Spanish, and they were totally like, they looked at Mark and I and thought we were completely kind of like douchebags or whatever. But because they didn't understand, like, we love what they did, and that short film was so good, they were totally cool. And they said, "We'll take you out and show you Barcelona." But they said to us, this is the best. They go, "You've got to wear baseball hats." And we had Free Enterprise baseball hats. And I said, why do you want us to wear baseball hats? And one of the filmmakers goes, "Nobody wears baseball hats in Spain. And I can point to you and I can go, that guy's like Steven Spielberg, because Steven Spielberg wears baseball hats." and so we would go out and they said, so we go out into Barcelona and these filmmakers take us, and I'm wearing my Free Enterprise baseball hat. Like, by the end of the night, we went from club to club to club. There was like 25 of us, hot Spanish chicks. It was amazing. And like, I was so hammered that I took off all my clothes, and I'm like, I'm not going to come here, not jump into the Mediterranean. And I took off all my clothes and I just dove into the Mediterranean. Because that's the kind of city Barcelona is. And that's the kind of festival Sitges is. But, so if the filmmakers, actually there's two things. If there's a woman I met in Barcelona named Gemma, give me a call. And those two filmmakers that made a short film, I only saw it once. And I've always wanted to see it again. It's a short film. It's a Spanish film. It's called Do You Really Want to Know?
Do they make something after that?
I have no idea. They made the short. That's what Sitges is all about. You meet all these. Like, I met the two kids that made Inside. I say kids. Yeah. And when the fact that I remember meeting the two of them. They were like whirling dervishes bouncing off the walls. And I talked to them for like 2 seconds. I go, "Dude, Inside fucking rules." Like, "Oh my God, Inside, you like our movie?" Like, I'm like, "I don't just like your movie, I love your movie." And by the way, Rob G told me that they made a vampire movie called, God, guys,
a new one, Rob. This is coming out. I know.
No, but it's already it's already come out. Something called Desire, or God damn it, I forgot to order it.
Wait, I probably have it on pre-order.
You probably have it. I don't own it. I need to get it.
Just have me a quick look if I can find it in all the pre-orders. No, I probably pre-ordered it at the shop itself, but I know what you mean. And I pre-ordered it without knowing that it is from the guys who did Inside. I found it out later.
I already loved, because my favorite double feature, and I would not tell the 14-year-old to do this, although if the 14-year-old has some fucking balls, let me just say, here's the great horror double feature, as long as you're into subtitles in French, people. As you know, Martyrs, and then as a palate cleanser, when Martyrs has made you want to slit your own throat and leave this world, then you watch Inside.
Yeah.
That's the greatest. That's the greatest. And by the way, they remade Inside, but I really wanted to remake it with Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie. I would have made $500 million, but whatever. It's fine.
Unbelievable. Okay.
This is like the longest. I thought the show was going to end at 1.
Stubble McShave. Thank God that buzzer was sorely missed. Dieter has had so much use for it so far. Well, Stubble, I always say it. You have to earn the buzzer. Castle Grayskull. I couldn't keep my eyes open last night and fell asleep during midnight metal. Well, it is during the evening.
Come on, man. It's not that long.
Tim Hens, Napoleon, the theatrical cut wasn't that good, really. Neither was the director's cut. And he says, only thing I got out of Napoleon is how gross a cannonball can do to a horse. Yeah, that was certainly one scene that stuck into my mind. Eucalyptus, Trash Panda hates trash, considering wrongful death. Yeah, that can happen. And Paul and Brunado, the Trash Panda forever. Slice Night, Trash Panda is getting dirty. In Major Chai Chai, Dieter give new meaning to Trash Panda. Darren G with Nail and I. which I showed last week, which I bought. It's my favorite film. Love it. Major Chicha, I love Richard E. Grant. He was great in Gosford Park. Tim Mann said, don't argue with Rob when it comes to Star Trek trivia. I don't. I just want him to answer questions. Nothing more. Ricky, typical American, doesn't care about my country, Canada.
No, hold on. That's not true. Let me just chime in there and say that Canada has Guy Madden. It has Adam Agoyan, and it has one of my favorite directors of all time, David Cronenberg, and his 2 kids now. His 2 kids.
Yeah.
Canada.
I don't remember the context anymore. What it was about. What we were talking about.
I'm just saying Canada has delivered some great filmmakers. And The Sweet Hereafter is one of my favorite movies. David Cronenberg's oeuvre. You put me on, dude. I have shivers in a 4K media book because you sent me on that journey.
I still have to watch the movie from his daughter, which was on Shudder.
I haven't seen it either. Did you buy it?
Yeah.
Can you get it?
No. Is it out on Blu-ray?
I don't know. I really want to. I heard I heard her. She was a photographer and then became a really impressive woman. I mean, everything she had to say about it, you go look it up. You guys can all look it up on. I forget her first name, but when the movie was coming out, she did this really great NPR interview, and she was delightful. Nice. Really impressive. And listening to her and what she was hoping to accomplish with the film, it's really inspiring to me when I hear filmmakers that have a clear vision. I love that, and she certainly did. And so, anyway, I miss it. It was theatrically released, and it was here for like 2 days, and I didn't see it. And I was so pissed.
Yeah, and it's it should be on Shudder right now. And Victoria Vicstar 5001 was in the chat, and considering I talked about Evil Does Not Exist, which for me, considering the ending, pissed me off a little bit. And she said, I've seen it, Dieter. I know what you mean, and I leave it at that. And Catherine was in the live chat too. Last night, the bike. By the way,
I just want to say that when we have our European tour, we got to go party with the Vixter. She's always going to the theater. She's always going to movies. So the 2 people, the 2 ladies that I want to party with the Vixter. And when I say party, I mean that respectfully, just so you know. And of course, the lovely Emma Bannon. So Emma Bannon and the Vixter, imagination connoisseurs par excellence. We're going to tear it up. Tear it up.
Tear it up.
Tear it up. Terrier is going to come down. We're going to get some great MDMA, and we're going to go off. Wait, what?
Catherine?
I didn't mean to say that. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Catherine was in the live chat too, and she says, the Bike Riders was okay. Just as I said, it's perhaps the perfect selling point. It's just fine, the Bike Riders. Walter Weidwoger, really hoping we get a K9 remake starring Dieter and a Schnauzer. And he says, in truth, I just like hearing Dieter say Schnauzer. There you go, Walter Weidwoger. We try to accommodate our audience. Considering your purchase, Rob, Tim Hens asks, what is so different with the Italian version of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? As far as I know, a different color. Timing.
No. It's about 12 minutes longer than the American release. So 12 minutes longer, and that version was released before by MGM, but it's retimed. The color timing is better.
Yeah.
So it's just a more complete version of the film.
Okay.
There you go. Not entirely complete, but a more complete version of the film. It's funny. They're putting out Once Upon a Time. So my friend Clark Von Trotha, who I went to high school with, he works in Portland, Oregon for a company that installs high-end home theater systems. And he was actually telling me about I don't know if you know this, there's a company called Kaleidoscape, which is
the streaming service.
You can download movies and all that, and they're highly technologically advanced. And I don't know why I'm going from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly to Kaleidoscape, but Clark was telling me that they've come out with a new system that you can take with you, and you can rip 4K films, and it's amazing. So everybody should look into this new Kaleidoscape thing, which I have not done, and I don't know why I'm babbling about it, so I apologize. But check it out.
But that's the difference, Tim, considering this release that Rob showed.
It's about 12 minutes longer.
Brian Knight, follow up. Where can I send letters to your show?
Wait a minute. Now I just remembered. The reason I brought up Kaleidoscape was because Once Upon a Time in the West is there with a much higher bit rate than we got in America. We only got a BD 66.
Yeah.
And Kaleidoscapes is the bit rate. It looks much better. And I ordered Once Upon a Time in the West. I didn't get it here because I was so disappointed to hear it. I did order the disc from Cult in Italy. It hasn't come out yet. Nice. I'm hoping the bit rate will be higher. It'll be on a BD 100. I'm hoping.
It's a pre-order, so it's a pre-order.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. We will keep our eyes on that one. Brian Knight, follow up. Where can I send letters to your show with your website download? Is there a possibility to send you letters?
Yeah. Look,
what's the status? What's the status of the website?
We're still working on all that stuff. It's kind of out of my hands, but you can send it to me directly. If you want to send me an email, send it to me at rmburnett, RMBURNETT 1701 at gmail.com, and put in the subject headline LGPM, and then the name, whatever you want to say, just so I know. And by the way, can I just say something? People are starting to send me their scripts and their whatever. I legally can't read your scripts. I can't do that. And just as a point of reference, when you're sending somebody your work, it's called unsolicited. Because I'm not a talent agency, I don't have legal protections. And the only way I could ever possibly read something that you send to me is if you've told me that you want me to send you something, and I would send you back a release form that absolves me of any responsibility. So you can't say that, you ripped me off 5 years from now. You can't do that. And I understand now a lot of people don't get that, but I keep getting stuff, especially from India. I get a lot of submissions from India. I can't look at your submissions. And by the way, I just don't have the time. If I'm not on YouTube, trust me, I am editing True Noir or recording True Noir. True Noir is consuming, it's a 300 plus page script. And I have all these great actors and I am working on it. It is a 10 chapter show that's about 7 hours long. And the only people working on it after the actors record are me, the composer, and my sound designers. And that's it, man. And it all comes from me. So don't get mad if I don't return your emails and stuff, but I can't read your scripts. I can't read your books. I can't do any of that. Because legally, you could come after me. And remember, never send somebody something unsolicited. And the problem is, by the way, don't apologize. People just don't know that now. Because the industry doesn't tell you, and the world is different than it used to be. And I just can't, people get mad, like, I sent you this and you haven't looked at it. I'm like, it's not because I don't want to. It's because I can't, legally. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Paul Santella, because Rob showed the Dark Crystal, the new edition, and the Labyrinth, new edition. Paul Santella, it's a travesty that Netflix canceled the show, considering the Dark Crystal. And Walter Whitewalker, speaking of Dark Crystal, can someone please continue the canceled Netflix series? That was amazing. It's a bummer. Victor Fontaine says the Labyrinth and Dark Crystal 4Ks are identical discs as the previous release, just new steelbooks or editions. Slice Night, Catherine, I pre-ordered the Escape from New York steelbook because I don't own it on any format. That's totally legit, Catherine. And perhaps the steelbooks, if you see it live, it looks somewhat better than we bashed it last week. Mila, I need Thomas Jane Punisher extended cut in 4K. It's not even out in HD. I know the Thomas Jane Punisher is out in HD, but the extended cut is not. I'm not sure. The extended cut never made it to HD. Uncle Jimmy says, you're a hysterical, Dieter. Yeah, sometimes that can happen. And Len McIsaac, considering the new section. How many finalists is this now? It's never enough. Never enough. Tommy Ricknell, who did send in the great super chat. No talk about the leaked The Keep from Vinegar Syndrome. I think we touched upon it a little bit. Let's just wait until something officially.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's been nothing official.
Yeah.
So look, I can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
So I, back in 2015, I took Adrienne Biddle. She's a producer of many horror films, including Oz Perkins' first work. We went and saw Thief and To Live and Die in L.A. at the Arrow, and Michael Mann spoke, and I raised my hand and asked him about The Keep. He is very dissatisfied with the finished film. I think it's Roy Arbogast who did the physical effects. There's a reason why it hasn't come out, and I think he's done what he could to suppress it from coming out, which is sad because I think a lot of people like that film. I do. I have the Letterboxd Laserdisc of it. It's owned by Paramount, and I would say this. I have no knowledge about whether Vinegar Syndrome got it, but it is a Paramount film, and I don't think with Paramount's current state of economic distress, if somebody wants to give them money to license out The Keep, maybe they'll take it. And cinematography, their sub-label that's done Going South did Little Darlings. They're great. I would imagine, I think The Keep should be a Vinegar Syndrome title. I think people would fucking buy the fuck out of that movie. Because it has a huge fan base. It's got a great Tangerine Dream score. It's a beautiful film to look at. It's Michael Mann's second feature after he made Thief. And, as Fred Ward said in The Player, the rumors are always true.
Yeah.
So who knows?
And Vinegar Syndrome, like you said, has some Paramount titles that they released.
They're already in bed with Paramount, so
yeah.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. But I don't know the reality of it. But maybe.
We'll keep on our eyes on that front. Eucalyptus, Kinds of Kindness is the worst movie of 2024. I've actually not seen it, but I'm looking forward to it. It is on Disney Plus here. It should be out, but I have not seen it. Adventure Square. Those 4K transfers for Aliens and True Lies are god awful. Debatable to some degree. Not True Lies, but Aliens. Big This Energy. Apple does a horrible job putting out their movies on any physical media. That was it, Rob. The live chat.
Okay, thank God. That was the longest live chat in the history of live chats.
3 weeks, Rob. We had to go through 3 weeks.
All right, well, okay. My God, everybody.
Yeah.
We were supposed to, the show did start at 11:30, 12:30, 12:30, 1:30. Hey, this is not one of our longest shows. It's fine.
No. It's still in the realm.
It's all good.
Still in the realm.
We should end this show, though.
Yeah. Go through to super chats, Rob, if you have some.
We do have super chats, by the way.
Okay.
5 Dot Toast says that Nacho Vigalondo, who directed Time Crimes, the director of Time Crimes, he's a hilarious guy, and I miss getting new films from him. He's married to Zoe Bell, the stunt woman. I did not know that. First of all, I love Zoe Bell. I've met her. I've interviewed her. I edited a feature film that she stars in. She's a lead actress in a movie called Paradox that came out in 2015. And if you look it up, it was a $250,000 movie that was shot in 3 rooms in a parking lot. I'm very proud of the work I did on it. Every single special effect shot in it cost $27, just so you know. However, it was written and directed by my friend Mike Hurst. And I think if you take a gander at it, it's a lot of fun that she stars in. So I didn't know they were married. That's amazing.
Me neither. Nice trivia fact.
I know. There you go. Walter Whitewalker says supermoon eclipse on Tuesday. Is that true? Where do you have to be? What part of the world do you have to be in to see it? That's amazing. Our friend Justin Toner, moderator, our friend, says, hi, Robin Dieter. I was so happy my Godzilla -1 4K exclusive set arrived this week. Fantastic package. And the movie looks wonderful in 4K. And it does.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me just check and make sure that
Yeah.
we're not missing anyone else here.
Anything? No. The tips
Nope.
section.
I think we're all good. I think
Okay.
we are all good. I guess that means we can end this show.
Ja. Because we start a little late, and I say, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
And I can say, remember, every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. And all you have to do is listen. And with that, I want to say thank you to everybody who supported the True Noir Kickstarter campaign. We still need your support. You can go there and pre-buy this project. I have to say that of all the projects that I've been involved with in the last 25 years, this project probably best represents, even more than Free Enterprise, my sensibilities. I'm so proud of this. I'm so proud of Max Allen Collins for writing an incredible script. I'm so proud of Mike Bodden. I'm so proud of Christine Sheeks. I'm so proud of Phil Dingledine. I'm proud of everyone I'm working with to make this the best it can be. And if I can just say, the cast led by Michael Rosenbaum playing Nathan Heller is unbelievable. Everybody from C. Thomas Howell to Katie Sackhoff is in this. William Sadler to David Strathairn.
When will be the New York Comic Con, Rob?
The New York Comic Con is October 17th through the 20th, and sometime within that period of time, we will be there, and we will be dropping the first couple of episodes of the show. So there you go. Thank you. You can go to truenoir.co or go to Kickstarter and just look up True Noir. You can pre-buy the series. And whether you want it just as a digital download, just to support it, we're making a book of the script, and it's pretty great. And send us, as a matter of fact, since we've been on, let me just see.
Yeah.
We were, before we started this show, we were about to pass $50,000 in support for this show. I don't get any of that money. It all goes to the project itself. But, I mean, I guess I do get it because it goes into the production. But I have to make all this stuff. So, True Noir, let's see where we are at. We are past $50,000.
Nice.
So, thank you all. Keep going there and supporting us. We're past 50K. Thank you. And, again, I promise you, I will not let you down. Would this guy let you down? No. No, he wouldn't. And he didn't back then, and he won't now. And on that note, I want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson. I want to thank Lord Toth. You know, I say Lord Toth because it's Thoth, but other people say it differently. But Lord Toth, isn't it Toth? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I would think so.
Thank you for Lord Toth, Justin Toner, everybody. S. Beam celebrated a birthday yesterday. So here's to S. Beam. And everybody that's been a great imagination connoisseur, thank you so much. We're going to have a member chat, and I'll probably do another Robservations. It's so funny. Last night I did an off-topic Robservations, and people are like, this is so boring. I'm like, all right, I'll talk about Marvel. I mean, you know, it's Robservations, not what. Look, whenever somebody says this is boring, I'm like, I'm done. But anyway,
One more time, Rob.
Riefenstahl.
You got it.
Lenny Riefenstahl.
You got it.
I said Riefenstahl the entire time. Someone's like, you can't even say it right. And you know what? Pundit. Pundit. The word pundit is pronounced pundit. It's not pundit. It's pundit. Pundit.
Right,
that's how you pronounce
it. Totally get why you would say it that way, Rob.
Riefenstahl.
But since you say Dida correctly, Rob, it's time to say Riefenstahl correctly.
I'm going to say, you know, because the more I talk about Lenny Riefenstahl, the more people love me.
Yeah.
Anyway, where are we at?
Okay.
Thank you all for being here. Thanks for supporting this channel via Super Chats and Tips. And, you know, we're going to be back next week with more physical media. You can come back next week, can't you, Dietz?
Yes, I can, Rob. I can. The following week, I have Nigel. Next week I can.
Oh my
Next week I can.
God. All right. Well,
Next week I can. But Rob, on a good note, this will be the last Sunday night shift, because then we switch back to the old system. So this will be in 2 weeks the last Sunday night shift. So I will be available for every Sunday.
oh my God. To have
Rob,
Dieter available to me. That's what I'm talking about.
We have a last super chat, Rob, to close out the show from Mark Spector's Avatar. Can we get a Phantom Zone, Rob, to close out the show?
Yes, you can. You want to get the I guess I have to go full frame for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let us out! Let me out! Let me out! I can't leave! I can't leave! I couldn't find the end stream button. I hope that was a good one.
Now?
We are out.
Okay. Do you have 5 minutes, Rob?
Yeah, of course.
Just